games of the Red Sox here at Fenway Park in Boston by the final score of 8-6. Thanks for listening. Have a great evening, everyone.
Detroit Tigers baseball.
Fly ball right center field.
Brought to you by Sam Bernstein Law, Blue Cross Blue Shield of Michigan, Corwell Health, Fago, The D Las Vegas, Northville Lumber, Feiger Law, Comerica, McLaren Health, Wallside Windows, Rocket, and Little Caesars Pizza.
Fly ball left field. It's deep. It's got a chance. And it's gone. A home run. Javi Baez, 2-run shot.
Brought to you locally by Jack Demmer Ford, Rave Associates, Jack Demmer Lincoln, Mastercraft Heating, Cooling, Electrical, and Plumbing, and the Metro Detroit Buick GMC dealers.
Torres swings. It's a fly ball toward the right field corner. Going
Back looking up. It's gone. That ball just kept carrying down the line. Ground ball and a base hit into right field for McKinstry. Torkelson will score.
This is the Detroit Tigers Radio Network.
This broadcast was presented by Bet365, where winning is everything. Download the Bet365 app and lock in your picks before the game begins. Must be 21 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Available in select states only.
Brought to you by Twin Peaks. The Tigers lost to the Red Sox 8-6 in an early matinee as they celebrate Patriots. Yes, the Red Sox looked like they were going to run away with it after gaining an 8-3 lead in the bottom of the 8th. The Tigers would put up a fight in the 9th, however, forcing Alex Cora to bring in closer Aroldis Chapman. That's where it stayed, though. Jack Flaherty struggled, tossing just 3 1/3, walking 6, and giving up 2 unearned runs. How you Lee got his first 2 hits of his big league career as well. The Pistons have the day off before returning to practice tomorrow and prep for Game 2 against Orlando Wednesday. There are 3 Game 2 contests tonight. First at 7, the Raptors look to tie their series against the Cavs. The Hawks are back in New York at 8. No, Toronto is not in action tonight. Well, the Nuggets hope for a 2-0 lead over the Timberwolves. Minnesota star Anthony Edwards is questionable. The Cowboys have made Brandon Aubrey their highest paid kicker in NFL history at $7 million annually and $20 guaranteed. At the Corwell Health Sports Desk, I'm Jeremy Otto. For more, go to 97.1 The Ticket or Odyssey.com.
Hey now, all right. Well, I think it's pretty clear. If I'm not here, the Tigers win. If I'm here, the Tigers lose. So I think I'm just going to do a service. I'm just going to leave again.
Okay.
What's going on?
Mark Ryan will be back on Tuesday.
Light over my dead body. So, all right, let's get to business, shall we? Because the Tigers are not the topic. Hey, look, they did their job. They played some garbage can teams, won a bunch of games. Cool. Panic is over, right?
Yeah.
Panic might just be beginning with something else, though. Now, I'm going to say what I think you're thinking, and you don't know that I know what you're thinking.
Okay.
You ready? I want to see if we're going to walk together on this.
Okay.
Game 1, Pistons and Magic, is the ultimate case of 2 things being true at the same time. I want to offer you both of my truths coming out of this game, and then we'll dig in on the reaction to it. Is that fair?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
That's a different way of putting it, but yes, I agree with
I
that.
just think it's important because here's what the playoffs are all about. Beautiful overreactions. I'm not going to overreact, but we will react. So here's truth number 1. It took the Pistons all of 1 playoff game to prove all critics and doubters right. It's truth. And whether you call doubters haters, people that don't know ball, whatever it is, you prove them right because all the bravado and all the woe is me, we're being disrespected, we're not the favorites. Well, here's why. If you look at this series and rank out the top 6 players, the Magic have 4 of them. So, yeah, the whole narrative about the Pistons not being as good as a record, not being one of the better 1 seeds in recent memory, and being vulnerable to a deep run, you kind of proved it in game 1. But here's what else is true. You still have the best player in the series. You are still favored to win the series. I still believe you will win this series. But this sure looks like this is going to be a 7-gamer. I think both things can be true where you can still love the Pistons, respect the Pistons, but I do think that should be a nice reality check for you. Pistons won again. Yeah, we can cut that crap out.
Yeah, I don't think anybody was walking around with the championship belt on last night.
Orlando, they were wearing the
A
belt.
little BTA was going on.
They out-pistoned you.
They did. And I would even say you could make an argument based off of last night that they have 5 of the best 6 players on the court.
Okay, because Duran no-showed?
We'll see. Yeah. I mean, you were putting Duran because I'm like looking at the game.
I know, but
you
I'm saying
told me Tobias Harris, but I'm thinking Wendell Clark
in the
showed up.
aggregate. Look, Cade's the best player in the series, and
Yes.
Duran is somewhere in the top 6. But the other 4, look, this is the reason all year, and I know I got absolutely bone crushed all year by texters because every time we would talk about teams that were a threat, I would continue to bring up Orlando and go, guys, I know they're booty, but it's because they're all hurt. Like, I love how casually last night B. Arthur in his wig mentioned that Wagner had missed 47 of the last 51 games. Yeah, he's their second best player.
Yeah, a lot of copium happened after the game last night where, they probably should have been the 3 seed. So it's really not fair.
You don't get to do that. You just don't. You don't. So, look, I want to know where people's concern is because, Rico, look, Orlando is a weird team is that they're kind of designed to bust your balls. They're this is the problem with the Pistons structure. So we talk about the playoffs. Everyone tries, right?
Right.
So all of a sudden, Dennis Jenkins not out there in a Superman outfit. No, everyone tries. But it's also when you're going to play Asur and Duren at the same time. And I know Asur's minutes got limited in the second half. You know why? Orlando could just pack the paint. They don't have to guard you.
And see, that's the thing right there is JB's going to have to figure out, do I go with my all defensive players knowing they can't score? They're an offensive liability. Or do I try to get the best guys, the Robinsons and the Dennis Jenkins out there to try to score points?
All right.
Because I don't think you could have it both ways. And I think yesterday he went, we got to try to match points for points. And that's where Asar played 9 minutes in the second half. Or something
because
like
he's
that.
useless on offense.
Exactly.
And he's a wonderful defensive player. But look, here's what it boils down to. Like, little moments stick with you. Dude, it's 3.5 minutes left and I'm down 7. And you want me to take you serious as an NBA Finals team? You're offering Cade Cunningham Dennis Jenkins as his backcourt mate? Yeah, no. Yeah. So, no, Rico, I don't know the answer because ultimately I didn't think the Pistons were very good defensively last night. From a chaos standpoint and generating some open run, yes. But the amount of out of position, like Duren allowed 4 or 5 guys on a back cut. And it's like, dude, you are the last line of defense. Like Duren was so bad last night at both ends of the floor. If you're not going to play the elite defense, you're going to find yourself in trouble because I can admit this. Even though I took hell all year, no, Orlando is not a typical 8 seed. But let's not turn them into the 2000 Lakers either.
No.
You can't get beat by 10 at home in game 1.
Well, here's the other thing, Mike. They didn't shoot that well from the three-point line either. So
no, which was an opportunity. But it's also an opportunity if the Pistons could actually shoot the 3. That's a night where if your opponent only hits 10 threes in today's NBA, Rico, you got to be plus 12, plus 15, plus 18. What were the Pistons? Dead even.
Yeah. Now, the funny thing is, and I got to give credit for Cookies because he summed it up well, but every doubt that we had about this team, and we kept saying, and people were like, oh, you're going to be fine, reminded me a lot of game 1 for the Lions last year against the Packers. And it was, hey, you know what? You probably need to bolster that defense. Hey, that offensive line ain't doing that well. No. Trust me. They'll be okay. And then at that game, everything got exposed. Now, TJ came in here. Trust me, guys. It's the little things and blah, blah, blah.
Grumble.
Cutscene, didn't make playoffs. Everything that you said actually came true. I do think they're going to win the series for the people in the back saying, oh, you guys are being negative. No. But, guys, what you see is a problem. And if Orlando can walk into your house, and don't give me Russ versus rest, because the Suns had the same amount of rest and got bounced out of OKC. So you can't give me that argument either.
Well, look, if you want to say because Orlando played, and look, OKC is the best team in basketball.
Right, but you're both 1 seeds.
Yeah, but you're not. No, you're not. Like, I'm sorry. You're not them. You're not the Spurs. You're not the Celtics. You're not. Like, I can understand the rust in the first quarter. Orlando wired you. You're the first 1 seed to lose game 1 wire-to-wire fashion in almost 30 years. So, yes to you. Both things are true. First quarter, but then the excuse goes away. Here's one thing you brought up, though. And again, 248-539-9797. The Cade Cunningham thing is interesting to me because Cade was splendid offensively. Yeah. Here's the problem. When Cade takes more than 21 shots, they only win 35% of games. So the problem last night, that the biggest fear and critique we had, they don't have a true number 2. And it's another thing people get all butthurt about is I can both like Jalen Duren, but have no interest in paying him upwards of $40 million a year because I can't run a play for him. and I can't run effective pick and roll because teams late, they're just going to play drop cover. He never could hit an 18-footer. So the problem is Cade looked around and was like, well, actually, we have a drop for that. Yeah, I'm just going to take every shot.
Yeah, because, Mike, it's a simple defense, and you've seen it throughout the years where it was back in the day, it was Michael Jordan. It was Shaquille O'Neal. It was like, I'm going to let you score 50 points tonight.
Yes.
Nobody else scores another basket, and we'll win. Yep. You'll tire yourself out so that late in the game, you won't be making free throws because your legs are tired, but we're going to clamp down on these other 4 guys. It's okay. Score as many points as you want. That's what Orlando did.
You just funnel the offense into one player.
Yeah.
That's it. And over the course of a 7-game series, the wear and tear on almost any player, unless you are a legend of Jordan and Kobe's ilk, you're going to wear down. Like, Cade, the Pistons are at their best when everyone's getting involved. That's how they can reach their peak. But the problem is what you just said. Like, Orlando's looking at this and going, we don't have to guard these people. So, look, I'm not panicked, but I think that needs to be a reality check game 1, especially for the team.
See,
for all the bravado and all the BS, and then they want to play the victim. Well, nobody loves it. Lock in. Less talk, more walk. Right. You got bullied at home. You can't have Wendell Carter outplay Jalen Duren. Can we at least agree on that, Rico?
I agree. That's why I said, looking at this, I could put Wendell Carter in that 6th spot over Duren of the top 7 after last night.
I'm begging you not to, but I understand.
But after last night. But no, Mike, see, I don't think that they can just let the Pistons just leave them alone and only defend Cade. I think it's one of those, whoever guards Cade, that's your guy. But we got to make sure you play defense and don't let Thompson get hot. Don't let Jalen Duren get hot.
But they can't. I'm saying those players are not capable in a playoff environment where they are going to say, look.
Okay, Dennis Jenkins?
We're protected. No, we're protecting the paint. You could see it last night. They almost look like Wisconsin's old pack line. Like they just were going to say, look, you're not going to get to the rim.
Yep.
And you're simply not, and what happened? One player had double figures outside of Cade. And it was Tobias. And again, this is the problem, is this seduction that takes place all year long. And I almost blame Cade for one thing. The existence of Tobias Harris. He's the one who took up for I love Uncle T. We need Uncle T. No, actually, Cade, you need a baller. You need someone to space the floor so that when Duren is here.
How good would Michael Porter Jr. look?
Stop. I know.
All right, you
know
what?
No. I'm saying you're right.
Right.
But it's just, both things can be true, is that it took 5 minutes for the doubters to be proven right, but yet you still have every right to believe you're going to win the series. But I do think this looks like an extended series because Orlando now has, I didn't know what Wagner would look like after missing essentially 50 games.
Yeah.
He looked really good once he got his legs under him in the first half and played really strong for a stretch. And now they have 2 6'10" guys. Yeah. Rico, they can give him the ball at the top of the key. Yeah. It can be a shot. It can be a drive. It can be a post. You got to answer for that.
When he did the hesitation and didn't finish with the dunk, I was like, all right, that's it. Let's start preparing for game 2 because this one's over. You're never going to catch up. And you got punched in the face. And unfortunately, in a NBA where the playoffs were supposed to just be chalk, yeah, you're the only top seed that didn't show up.
And look, you got wired.
Yeah.
There were a couple of moments where I know Cade tied it at one point, and then it was an 8-0 run for Orlando again. And again, what is the secret sauce? What are the lineup combinations? Part of this is going to have to be, how do you get Duren going? Well, when you don't have an offensive game, that's pretty tough. How do I get him going? I'm not going to, fine, you want to try to run pick and roll? You want to have him dive to the bucket? Orlando has the size to stand up to that. This is where him not being a modern center hurts you. But I know all the basketball geniuses, tickling their pickle in January, beating a bunch of brain-dead teams. Okay, well, we're here now. So lock in. Yeah. Because game 2, mandatory. Come on. And by the way, what was with the fans last night? That was the worst playoff environment of any of the ones I watched.
Okay.
Everybody okay down at
No,
LCA?
see, you know what? I'm not going to allow you to slander the fans because fans show up when you give them something to cheer about.
Like the Buffalo Sabres. Kenny, what time the Wings play tonight?
Read something.
Okay, if you're in an accident, it could feel like you're on your own. The insurance company's not your buddy. Paperwork, total nightmare. That's why you got to call David Femininio. Only Femininio Law has the accident response team. You need action. You need it now. Counselors keep life moving. Forensic experts lock down your case. It's smart. It's fast. It is built to win. Get David, get paid. It's not a tagline. It's a playbook. Call 855-65-CRASH or go to getdavidgetpaid.com. Hey, Kenny. Kenny, what time is it?
Go ahead.
No, what time? What time is it in the afternoon?
It's 3:20 in the afternoon.
And Eiserman still has a job.
All right.
All right, we're good. I just had to catch up with you after a few days away.
Real quick, Mike,
Yes.
before we get back to that, I want to talk about the fans once again. They didn't give them anything to cheer about. They fans did what they could. Yes, it may have seemed like they were quiet, but Mike, I think if this team would have came out there and did what they were supposed to do, they would have showed up, David.
Oh, no. The fans shouldn't wait on the team to give them something. You should come out and be hyped and ready for the game the minute you step into that building.
Can't both things be true? Rico
Right.
is right. The team kind of looked like they were NyQuil'd up to start.
You haven't won a playoff game now in 11 tries. The fans did what they showed up. You didn't give them any reason to cheer. So I'm never going to blame the fans when the team does nothing.
Okay. David, your thoughts, though, overall? I mean, where am I wrong with what I said and what, I guess, your concern level? If you want to say it's a 0, I'm not mad. I'm just saying every concern played itself out, and now you're in a position you got to respond. I mean, I still think they win the series, but does it feel like 7 games now that Wagner has given proof of life? Go ahead.
Yeah, no, I don't see anything wrong with what you said. I do believe they still win this series. But the thing that showed up in the series, in the first game of the series, was exactly what we warned people about. I was worried and concerned that we would lose in the second round because we didn't get a second score. Well, that showed itself early on in the first game. The great team defense that we had all regular season. Okay, but now everyone else is trying. Orlando tried.
Correct.
And where was our defense? It didn't show up at all.
I think the defense starts and ends, though. Like, I understand Asur's individual ability.
Correct.
But when the last line of defense is Jalen Duren, he had an awful night. That's going to be a miserable film session for him today.
When he's letting lobs right behind him over his head, what are you doing? I just didn't like I didn't like the energy from the team yesterday. Nothing from that game I liked. Okay, so throw it away.
Yeah.
Come back on Wednesday and do it all over again. Don't do that all over again, but play better.
David, the team didn't have a plan B. They thought they were going to come out there and punch Orlando in the mouth. And when they got punched, it was kind of like, oh, okay, well, they'll cool off and we'll take over. And it just didn't happen. They got wired. And yes, I didn't think that we would be saying this so early that Wednesday night is kind of a must win.
And
Question mark?
I just hope that the fans sat here and watched what I watched. I knew what Dennis Jenkins was. But the fact that you had him out there late in the game,
hold on,
trying to score, trying to do this, he's not who everyone thought they said,
all right,
time
out. I'm going to stick up for Dennis Jenkins. I think that Dennis Jenkins. Hold on.
No.
David, I have to.
No.
David, it's getting slanderous. Hold on.
No.
Kenny, roll tape on this.
Yeah, roll tape. Listen, how about this? They just have too many Dennis Jenkins types. You have too many players that aren't players.
You are relying on Dennis Jenkins in moments where you shouldn't have to rely on Dennis Jenkins.
Fair, but it's the same thing where you can't have a lineup where it's, hey, look, I've got beef stew and a sewer, and it's just Duncan Robinson wasn't in the rotation for the Heat last year in the playoffs. He's now this linchpin of the offense where if I don't have him, I don't have any three-point ability not named Cade. You can't exist that way because what happens to players like that in the playoffs is they don't rise up because gym class is over.
Okay, well then I'll go to Jalen Duren because I said
That's
this.
That's the one.
I said this, and I was worried about this. I said he's a paint player. And what happens is they're tightening that defense up on Cade where he can't get the ball to him in the paint. What else would Jalen do? What happened yesterday?
I don't know what that was. But
exactly that.
No, but I'm going to show him some grace. It's one game. It's disappointing. Duren is exponentially better at that. I may not want to pay him $40 a year because he's not a modern center, but I'm going to respect him enough. He's better than that. That was egregiously bad last night. So let's see what Wednesday night is. But what do the texters have? We'll get to the callers in a minute. Give me the early returns on text.
Early returns on text here. Someone says Pistons will be fine. JD won't be held like that again. They are fine. Gentlemen, J.B. Bickerstaff's fault last night. He didn't know how to adjust when they shut down J.D. He should have found a way to get him the ball. That's from Marlon and Wall Lake.
Timeout. Now, hold on. The blame the coach routine, take it easy for a minute. What adjustments are you going to make? Look at what I know. Break glass in case of Javonte Green. Like, who are you going to the bench to get? What do you got, Bill Walton in 86? Like, what? Who are you going to get? I just think it's lazy to bust JB's balls. Now, if you want to say Asur Thompson's got to play more than 9 minutes in the second half, we'll have a conversation. What do you want him to do?
See, I don't even know. That's a difficult conversation, Mike.
Yes,
because
it is.
He'll give you defense, but you're not going to get offense.
No, and when you pair him with Duren, well, you're playing 3-on-5. Welcome to the playoffs. Because teams are just going to say straight up, we're not allowing this.
Right. That's the one thing that I can't get mad at JB for, because you were down. You don't need you gotta try to get over that 10 point.
Who did Bickerstaff guard last night? No one. It's on the players. Fair. It starts with I'm just saying I don't want to get into this where JB failed in Cleveland. Can we let him write his own story? Because the last I checked, he's helped author a wonderful turnaround here. But then I know when the game doesn't go, here's what fans do. They drink the bathwater of these man babies making $40 million a year, and they blame the coach. I think
JB was seen on the bench reading a book of How to Win Championships by Doc Rivers.
JB was on the bench, and I think he mouthed this.
It's because these fans don't want to rip the guy that should be, and it's Tobias Harris. He's still here. He shot 1 for 7 from 3. And yet everyone, Uncle T needs to be here. No, he doesn't. That's the production we get. And technically, yes, he was the second highest scorer, but he shot poorly.
Fans got seduced by the wins. You played a bunch of teams that weren't trying. You got, hey, here's us wearing the belt, and look at this. We won again, and it was fun. But when we kept saying, hey, playoffs is a different animal. Enjoy the regular season, but now – all of those teams that just kind of half came into LCA, or they're going to come in ready to play. And you saw Orlando came in full roster, ready to play.
Look, I'm going to take the positive is it's a reality check right from the rip. I think the Pistons are plenty good enough to get this done. But I think it is a reality check is if anyone thinks this is going to be easy, or if anyone thinks regular season dominance for this team translates to playoff dominance, that's where you lose me at the train station. Every night is going to take their best because from a talent standpoint, they are at a massive deficit to other teams, period. Take the top 6. You've got Cade and Duren, and Cade is the best player in the series. The other 4 best players are Magic. I mean, it's just, guys, it's going to start with the defense, and you can't have a game where Cade's got to score 40 every night. That's not the best version of you. So I want to get to the callers, 248-539-9797. Want to hear your concern level and maybe your shock level to it. Kenny, you didn't answer my question. What time are Wings playing tonight?
All right. All right, guys.
Good to be back.
It is. Hey, you've heard me talk about my basement designed by Matrix Basements. It's great watching the NBA and the playoffs.
The Red Wings.
There. Well, maybe not the Wings, but here's the deal. Go over to matrixbasements.com right now. Get that free consultation. Let them come up with a design for you because their staff, they're award winning. They'll come up with the best design. You'll absolutely love it. They'll get started over the summer, and come NFL college season, you're going to be all set in your brand new man cave that will be the envy of all your boys, your family members. Everybody's going to want to come over to your house. Why? Because they're going to love the basement that was designed and built for you by Matrix Basements. Go to matrixbasements.com right now. Get signed up. Get that free consultation. And trust me, you will absolutely love it. Plus, it's a great investment on your house. It's about a 15% return on investment. So it's a win-win. Plus, you'll be the envy of the block. Go to matrixbasements.com right now. Get signed up and let that award-winning design staff hook you up. Matrix Basements, design that pays off.
Straight to the people. Rapping about the Pistons a little bit. We'll get to some NFL draft in the 4 o'clock. It's simple. 2 things are true. You know, if you don't like people talking ill on your team, well, you can't play that way because every hater or just rational human was proven right. So now respond to it. They have everything it takes to win this series, and I won't be shocked if they don't go 7 and they win it sooner. But yeah, that you got bullied at home and frankly out-hustled. That shouldn't happen. If you just want to hit the easy button and say, well, Asur needs to play more in the second half, I don't think it's that simple. I can see your point, and I'm fine with it. I'm not going to argue. But it's not that simple because your offense was ass. What'd you shoot, 39% as a team? You had 1 player in double figures not named Cade? Mm-hmm. Asur's not fixing that. He basically wears mittens on the offensive end of the floor. Now, can he lock someone down? You're damn right he can. But, man, and the other thing, too, with the ticket texters, you're really going to blame the coach who helped you get to 60 and 22, huh? That's what we're going to do after 1 game? Mm-hmm. God forbid you blame your heroes, right? Go to Chris, 97.1. Chris, you're batting leadoff. What's good, buddy?
Hey, guys. How's it going? Welcome back, Mike.
Thank you, bud. What's up?
All right. Well, I'm a Knicks fan and a Pistons fan. You know, they usually don't play each other. But after last year, I had to hear it all the time living here and wearing my gear and stuff. So also this year, I had to hear how they were swept in the season series and it's different this year and this and that. And I just sat back quietly because I know the playoffs are different. There's different modes. There's different players that just step up differently. And literally, the regular season, 82 games, is almost like open gym. So when I see Jalen Duren playing, I don't see a number 2, and I know you guys don't either. He's actually a really good number 3 if you think about it.
Yeah.
This is why everyone, including you guys, wanted Porter so bad, and when it didn't happen on that trade deadline, I called and said, mark my words, this is going to come back to haunt them. I did not think it would be in the first round, and it shouldn't be, honestly. I don't see them losing this. But here's the thing. When you stretch out series like this, these teams, now that they know that they can beat the Pistons, they're going to play just how they did and even harder. It's going to wear your guys down. You see it in the playoffs all the time. I watched it happen with Jalen Brunson the last 2 years. You've seen what happened with your guy, with Tatum, with Halliburton. These guys get wore out, they get injured, and it's kaput. You don't want that to happen. This team is better than the Magic. I don't know right now in a playoff series if they're better than the Cavs. And I don't think they're better than the Celtics or the Knicks in a playoff series. But they can beat all those teams. They just got to get it together. But without a second scorer, it's really scary. And before I go, I just want to say I was listening earlier because I thought you guys were going to come on. I didn't know the Tigers were playing so early.
Yeah.
But, Kenny sounds just like Dan Petrie. You guys can put clips together,
Really?
And they sound exactly alike.
All right, hold on, Chris. David, I think we need to vet that out this week. This is exciting. All right, Chris, I appreciate it. Here's all I'll say about the Knicks.
Kenny and Peaches.
The Knicks have a Pistons problem in the way that the Celtics might have a Knicks problem. Matchups are everything. And while I think the regular season is largely an atrocity in the NBA, the Pistons have gotten in your head a little bit. You need to bounce back from that. And it's why I think the Celtics have an issue with the Knicks. The Knicks are geared to beat the Celtics. It's how they built their team. It's how they structured it. There's a toughness there. That same toughness, Boston is not as tough as Detroit. I think there's a softness about the Celtics. So I just be careful kind of doing this whole extrapolation thing because, Orlando, they'll muddy it up. They don't shoot a lot of threes, and when they do, they're terrible at it, but they play really good defense. You can look at their metrics when the whole team is healthy. And they went out, remember this summer, we talked about it. Did they grossly overpay for Desmond Bane? Sure they did. But they viewed it as the last piece, and they were going to have a big 4, and they were just going to go. Mm-hmm. Well, everybody got hurt. So now they're healthy. This is like a second-round playoff series.
It is. It's what it feels like.
Yeah, and that's part of the deal.
And unfortunately, you've hit must-win territory on.
Well, it's the playoffs, man. Come on, dude. They're all damn near must win.
You can't. I don't think you want to go back down 0-2.
No, that I agree with, but I don't know. I just feel like, yeah. I mean, if you lose Wednesday night, which I don't think they'll do, If you lose Wednesday night, I mean, what do you want me to tell you? You're
well,
going to be on fraud alert at that point. But
Well,
I
no.
don't think they're going to lose.
Another the problem is the fact that there's like so much space in between NBA games. It's not an every other day type of
The
thing.
problem is Mason.
Wait, why is Mason taking straight?
It's not a stray.
That's
it's
a
direct.
stray. That's
it's direct.
Okay, did Mason go on the floor?
No,
Was him and JB out there?
It's just so played out. 9 means stop sign.
And this man in this room with next to me repeats that all day, every day.
I know.
It's the 9. It means stop sign.
I can't take
Standing
it.
at 6'6".
Right, okay.
You're gonna want to watch this.
Yeah. Oh, hey, look, he just took another shot. I'm sorry. Dude, Kenny, it's been 22 years of it. It's worn out.
They win the whole thing. You know what? It'll go full circle.
We'll get.
Then he can retire.
Then he'll be at the parade.
I think David said the best comment of the hour. Can't we make him announcer emeritus and be done with it?
Of the pantheon of things that went wrong, I'm going to include
I'm
that
projecting.
Not even on the list.
I know. I'm projecting. I'm frustrated. That was an awful game to watch. They played awful. Yeah.
The 9.
I like Final Countdown. Hold on. Wait a second. You got to separate worlds
That's not
here.
the right version.
I like the song and the intro. Enough. Also, maybe a side topic. Was Big Ben's Jesus Piece big enough? 248.
Apparently not.
It was half the size of his head. David, you're our religious expert. Is there a cap on Jesus Piece? Real estate.
No cap.
You just
I don't know, because Max Clark was like, that's all you got?
He wins. They panned over to Big Ben. I'm like, my God.
It's not, until you win, increase the piece.
You think Big Ben comes back with a bigger
Yes.
Jesus Piece
Yes.
Wednesday night?
Yes.
Is it even available? David, can you go to JesusPiece.com and just tell me, from a sizing standpoint, what's available for Big Ben Wednesday night?
He's just going to come. Somebody's going to be walking and dressed like Jesus at this point.
Ben should just carry a cross in.
I was about to say he'll be carrying it in. He'll be sitting right there in the seat next to him.
They've replaced Rip with Ben's cross.
Could you move over one?
I was shocked. I'm like, that is behemoth. All right. Well, Northville Lumber. Speaking of behemoth,
maybe that he can go to Northville Lumber and get his next Jesus Piece.
Stu would be happy to see him. They could make one out of Trex decking. Park it right in the seat. Go to their brand new warehouse. It is in fact bigger than Big Ben's Jesus Piece. Bottom line, if you're a contractor and you're not buying from Northville, you're out of your damn mind. Price, performance, selection, they do it all. And don't forget, full window program as well. Call Northville Lumber today. You take home some samples. It is Michigan's Trex Superstore. Just go to northvillelumber.com. That's northvillelumber.com. throw a number out to you. We'll get to some NFL in the 4 o'clock because it is draft week. But I really want to hear from Piston fans. Again, I'm not panicking. That's a pretty good punch in the plums to start a playoff series. And you got bullied. So my sincere hope is, okay, you didn't play for what seemed like a month. Let's drop the bravado and the BS. Cut the crap with the woe is me, nobody respects us, and go take your respect. Play better. It starts on the defensive end, and offensively, you cannot have Cade score 40 and be by himself. This is the challenge. The Magic have an opening salvo here, and Mosley's plan was simple. We're going to muddy this up. We're going to play harder than you, and we're not going to let you get in the paint. And they did that. And Rico, look, I think the surprising thing to me, how well Orlando, they did. They held up on the boards. A lot of second chance points early in the game kind of got them out to that lead. And look, Durant had 7 rebounds. Call it what it is, man. It's not good enough.
And I guess the whole time I was thinking that, okay, it's going to click. And like when Cade tied the game, I was like, okay, now the Pistons are going to show up. And as you said, 8-0 run, and Orlando pushed the lead back out. And it's like they were playing catch up the whole game. They just looked out of sort. They didn't look like a number 1 seed. And I think that was more concerning to me because I was expecting, for you to come out there and just kind of show Orlando it's going to be a quick series and then we're going to get our focus ready for Cleveland. Instead, now you got to focus on trying to maybe win a 6-game series against the Magic.
Let's go to our people. The basketball elite are beginning to come out on this chilly but sunny Monday afternoon. Dre in Southfield to the main stage. Dre, what's good, buddy?
Happy Monday, guys. How you doing?
Good to hear from you, pal. What's on your mind?
Yeah, Mike, I thought you hit the nail on the head, hammer, whatever it is, man. I thought you nailed it when you brought up the hustle part of this. The weaknesses of this team and how they showed up last night is not a shocker. If you've been watching the Pistons all night, you knew what they do well, what they don't do well, and how that can hinder them in the playoffs. So that didn't bother me as much last night. I kind of knew what we were up against. But from the tip of the ball, we were out-hustled. You having Jalen Suggs diving for loose balls. I don't see one Pistons doing that. We have multiple fast breaks where K's going down the fast break or sore. They're getting stripped from behind because lack of awareness. We have, like you said, second chance points by Orlando, offensive rebounds. We're us not getting offensive rebounds, which we do well for the most part. Mm-hmm. They just took it to the Pistons in the physicality and the tenacity way that was so disappointing that the Pistons didn't match or overdo because I don't know who the hell they think they are, or they think they can just roll out there and not play well. I just didn't like their energy from the start. Now, Grant, maybe part of that is the fact that the Magic have been in survivor mode the last couple of weeks, right? Particularly the last 2 games. So they're already amped up, so I'm giving them that grace. And I think that's natural and understandable. And also the Pistons are a young team and it's their first time in this position. So you have to kind of, unlike the Thunder, right, where we know what we have to do, right? The Pistons are in a different situation in terms of where they are in their maturation process. So I can live with being rusty, maybe being a little bit nervous.
But for a quarter.
I cannot live. Right, exactly. But what I cannot live with is like the lack of physicality and tenacity to not match that or overdo what the Magic brought. That's the only thing that bothered me last night. Durant looking lost and, like him not boxing out well, not watching the guy behind him on back cuts, like that type of little stuff. It's like, hold on, man. Like we can't be doing that kind of stuff. And I think my hot take is I would know everything I need to know about this series based on the first quarter. And not necessarily about a score, but about the energy. Yeah. If I see that same lackadaisical, because my concern with Cade was, I thought in the first half, I'm like, maybe he's not right physically. But then I saw his aggression in the second half. I'm like, oh, no, it's not physical. He was just trying to, kind of fill the game out, which he does at times. To hell with that, man. No, I need Cade with the foot on the gas pedal from the tip. We cannot remember, come out here.
When he takes more than 21 shots, you only win 35% of your games.
I'm not saying with shots. I'm not saying with shots, Mike. I didn't like how he was kind of playing you could tell when a player, particular point guard, is trying to like think the game out a little bit too much.
Okay.
It's like, no. I need you to force it a little bit more. I need you to drive harder, to kick for open shots a little bit more. Not trying to do your little pace and all that. Not in shots, in terms of aggression, I'm referring to.
Yeah, then noted. I don't have any issue with it, Dre. The problem, and Lord knows you've called for a long time. I think we're on the same page. Same with Rico. Dre, like, this is where, the rubber meets the road, and your options are what? Kevin Huerter? Duncan Robinson?
They don't have the options, Mike. That's why I'm saying the tenacity
has to be
that's
there.
why I'm just disappointed. It has to be there. They can, more than anybody else, they cannot afford to come out flat-footed and kind of, all right, that's kind of work out well.
Case in point, though,
lather.
You're not going to win games if you don't force a ton of turnovers. What'd they force, 12 turnovers? You had 14. Right. They live on turnovers and runouts, and that's their brand. But, like, if you don't produce that and you're not going to shoot well from three, it doesn't matter that you shot damn near 40 free throws and Orlando shot like 24. Dre, this is
free throws.
Yeah, go ahead.
How many missed free throws last night, too, man? I'm like, it's just everything about that game was so frustrating. I think they missed like 10, 12 free throws last night. I mean, they were just so out of it. And I'm praying. They're not going to become a good three-point shooting team this season. But I'm just praying that they can just focus, wake up.
Well, Dre,
they
missed 9 free throws, but I get what you're saying.
Yeah, but they get magnified when you're trying to cut a lead,
yes,
and you don't have margin. I mean,
you're not getting the turnovers that you're hoping to get because you actually turned it over 2 times more.
Only
thing
more messed up than that game last night was PK Subban's pants. Kenny, I need you. I need you to explain your league. He was out there looking like Uncle Sam. What the hell was that?
I have no idea.
What are those pants, and how do we get a pair for you?
I saw that broadcast, and yes, I would wear those pants. But also, what a wild outfit choice.
It was like he was a clown on stilts, except he wasn't on stilts.
No, that's just PK.
Okay.
Your old GM called him a clown once, though, in the air.
Who, Milbury?
Yeah.
Takes one to know one.
Right.
He's also the same jackass who traded Roberto Luongo at 20 years old to draft another goalie.
Sorry I brought that up. That's my bad.
It's okay. It's all right.
David is very confused based on
what am I looking at? David, you want to rock those at Greater Life?
No, thank you.
No, please, I beg you. I dare you with a straight face to deliver a sermon in those pants. If you're listening to this show right now, just type in PK Subban pants, and you will see what we're talking about. Because honestly, your offense was Subban's pants last night.
Wow.
You like those? Want a pair for yourself? No. Okay, then. We'll get more to people coming up. We're rapping about the Pistons. We will mix in some NFL draft because, it is draft. Rika, you sure I can't get you a pair? You sure? Maybe you go to a Spartan game in those, huh?
Nah, I'm good.
I thought it was a Photoshop when I first saw the pictures on Twitter, and then I tuned into the broadcast during intermission. I was like, no, that's real, huh?
More puzzling, Subban's pants or how Mel Kiper's hair is growing horizontally? David, it's growing out, like straight out. He's gone full Christmas ornament. It's a perfect circle.
I'll say it's probably not Subban because Subban's always done wacky things like that. But Kuiper, yeah. Sorry.
I'm just so glad somebody noticed because I noticed weeks ago they do that little thing on the ESPN.
What does he ask for at the salon? Hey, I'd like the bulb. It's unbelievable. We'll discuss.
He's touching an electric socket or something.
It is.
At least you're leaving Noah Eagle alone.
He's not good. Like, he's not.
His hair, I mean.
It's a wig. It's absolutely a wig.
He's got a barber, cuts it every day.
It's a wig. Your hair's not supposed to look like one of the greens at Augusta. No hairline's that perfect.
He makes enough money.
Yeah. Okay, listen. Check his history for Turkish Airlines. Okay? I don't want to hear. That's a wig. 248-539-9797. Honestly, maybe Noah Eagle could help the Pistons last night. And he was all hands on deck.
They should have got Grant Hill.
Honestly, something, anything. 97-1.
Brought to you by Mother Waddles. The Tigers lost to the Red Sox 8-6. Detroit found themselves down 8-3 heading into the top of the ninth before a 3-run rally made it interesting. It forced Alex Cora to bring in his closer, Aroldis Chapman, after they had already used a number of bullpen arms, with their starter Sonny Gray exiting early with an injury. Riley Green had the biggest blow, a double that made it 8-6, but that's where the score stuck ultimately. Hal Lee got this out of the way. Jack Flaherty started for the Tigers and struggled, walking 6. According to NFL insider Ian Rappaport, former Lions QB Matthew Stafford has made significant progress on an extension. His latest update is that he was in the building. The Pistons are taking the day off, but there are 3 other Game 2s tonight in the league, including Denver and Minnesota. Anthony Edwards is questionable for the T-Wolves. Michigan AD Ward Manuel sat down with Angelique Shingalis of the Detroit News and was asked what the results of the department's external investigation will mean to him.
Hard hitting.
At the Corwell House Sports Desk, I'm Jeremy Otto. For more, go to 97.1 The Ticket or Odyssey.com.
Four o'clock, good to have you with us on a Monday. Pistons drop game 1. It was pretty ghastly. Again, I don't think anyone's panicking, but you should have a concern is that no 1 seed has been wired in almost 30 years in a game 1. Yes, we saw Toronto lose game 1 and go on to win the whole damn thing. Cool, anecdotal, and fun. We're even. The point is, you got out-pistoned. You got out-toughed. You got out-hustled. It happened at home. And Orlando, yeah, they were injured all year. They're not injured anymore. And they have 4 of the top 6 players in the series. So how do you adjust? What's your takeaway from game 1? And what's your concern level? And I think it's totally real to be like, hey, I'm a little concerned, but I still think we win the series. No one's freaking out or calling it. I mean, maybe Stephen A. Smith is at some point, but like, it won't shock me if it goes 7. I wouldn't be surprised.
No, I don't think you want it to go 7, but yeah, because now you're looking at Cleveland, you're worn down.
Rico, I think what it does is it puts into perspective this team's limitations. It puts into perspective what we were saying all year. You are not as good as your record. It is not disrespect. You're not the favorite in the East. It's realism. You're not the best team in the East. These other teams don't treat the regular season like you do. It's different. I think the Pistons needed to do what they did in the regular season to build a winning culture, to follow up last season, to continue progressing. But when the rubber meets the road, you don't have enough talent. That's the problem. And that's why I'm not going to yell about J.B. Bickerstaff the way some texters are. What would you like him to do? Trajan Langdon got him a corpse at the deadline. That was what he got him. So here, shake up a water bottle that features Javonte Green, Kevin Huerter, Duncan Robinson, Dennis Jenkins, Isaiah Stewart, Ron Holland. What? You put all those guys together, you wouldn't make an all-NBA player. This team's got to have tenacious defense, chaotic turnover rate, tons of open runouts, and yeah, you got to be able to generate good shots because they're not going to hit a bunch of threes. Rico, they shot 39% last night. You're not beating anyone that way. No. So to me, I'm not going to yell about Bickerstaff. Jalen Duren's got some explaining to do. I don't know what the hell that was.
No, that's why I'm not big on everybody who said, well, no, Thompson's got to get in the game more. I'm like, no, he doesn't. Not when you're down. When you're up.
Can we meet in the middle? He can't play 9 minutes in the second half. Can we just meet there?
But, Mike, when you're trying to play catch-up, I can't have him out there because he's offensively challenged.
Well, now you're talking roster construction, and you'll be labeled a hater. So, cool. 248-539-9797. I want to go to the callers, but let's check texters. David, again, I like the general percentage of responses. Positive, negative, people sitting chilly. What do we got?
They're upset. I'm sorry. I just don't see how this team wins this series. Just don't see it. Orlando has the better roster, and frankly, they are much better coached.
Hold on. After one game, that's what we're doing? Especially when and I'm not blaming the individual, but a pretty accurate generalization of Piston fan is they're a rather mouthy bunch, and they're supremely confident. One game, come on, don't overreact, guys. Just
see, that's the problem that I have. I've been telling this to Kenny because I've been reading all this stuff coming through. We heard no one say that last week or the week before about the Pistons. I'm worried about them. They could lose here. When people would get on the air and say they're not making the Eastern Conference Final, they're not making the final, people will say, you're a hater. Now, all of a sudden, one game, they're going to lose to Orlando now. Yeah,
I can't go there. Look, obviously, it changes as the series progresses, but I'm going to show the Pistons a little grace. You just draw a line through last night. But if Wednesday night looks anything like this, that's where my concern will skyrocket, because it can't look this way. Not from an effort standpoint, not from a rebounding standpoint, not from inability to create turnovers. And frankly, you could play Asur more, but okay, he locks down on Banchero. They're going to go to Wagner. Orlando has some answers here. My concern is, how do we generate more offense without Cade having to be 40?
Yeah, 5 guys in double figures for Orlando.
That'll kill you.
That was the problem right there.
See, and I'll say this too. Even if they win the game on Wednesday, but a lot of those signs are still there, then that's still a concern. Okay, you can win it and tie the series up, but if Jalen Duren still looks like the way he looks, and they still somehow win, that's still concerning.
David, if they still look the same way on Wednesday, I don't think Greater Life is getting the pews. I'm just saying. So I'm hoping for the best. But, yeah, if they a repeat performance like that, and we may have to put those pews on layaway.
People will be standing.
Right.
Yes, you're exactly right.
To the people. Go to Steve, 97.1. Stevie, what's good, buddy?
Yeah, man. Everything you guys are saying is pretty much spot on. I mean, look at the Pistons in general. I mean, they can't take any nights off, and I'm talking all their players. And if a couple of them don't do what they've been doing during the regular season, they're going to be in really rough waters. It's everything they needed to do, they didn't do. And like I say, this could be another stepping stone into next year. They do finally get a good shooter out there. Someone, I mean, Cade's not the best shooter in the world either, percentage-wise, but he's gotten better. But I mean, we got to have guys that can make something happen. And when Cade went out and Durham scored points, he had to. There was no one else to score points. And it's just, I agree with you. I don't think they're going to lose the series. They can if they play that again, and they don't bring it all together every single game against Orlando.
Yeah.
And the problem with me is this, guys, is so they get past Orlando. Now you got Cleveland.
Well, that's the team I've been most afraid of. So I'll be honest with you, because Cleveland presents some major challenges. Again, defensively, you start to see it, Steve. You face these teams that have actual offensive talent. Sure, I'll take a player away with Asur, but what's your answer for the others? That's the problem in all this.
And that's what was telling. I don't know if it was you, Rico, but when it might have been you, Mike, when you said, yeah, Cade might be the best guy on the floor, but then the next 4 or 5 guys are all on Orlando.
Yeah.
And that says so much. And you're the number 1 seed. But guys all were coming back at the end of the season.
Yeah.
Guys are coming back and getting ready. It's almost like they were, getting the blend in. They already knew they weren't going to be the number 1 seed. The Pistons had pretty much a lock on it. But, I mean, they were getting their guys ready.
Well, and when you look at it, when you look at the East, okay, the deadline, and you can mock this, you can make fun of it, and you might be right, but like Cleveland loaded the wagon, acquired Harden. The Celtics got Tatum back, and they got, Vooch, who I'm not telling you he's some high-level guy, but they needed some help for Kata. The Magic got Wagner back after missing 50 games. Like, yeah, Steve, the neighborhood got tougher. And what'd the Pistons do?
Oh.
They traded for a dead body. That deadline emulated Scott Harris's deadline from last year. I'm sorry.
I agree with you, man. They didn't even get a bag of balls, and that's really bothers me most of all. I like to get the Wilsons in there. But, the key thing for me, guys, is for the Pistons, and I never expected them to go super far because it is going to be a lot harder because seeing all those guys come back, it would have been nice if they could have had a full season of those guys not being there, then it'd be pretty much cakewalk. But I agree. I think they're gonna win the series. I think they're gonna play a different game than they did on Wednesday. Than they did on Sunday. I agree with you, Rico. Part of it, you can't blame the fans, but the fans still got to get up. I mean, when the Lions were even at their worst, they could at least get the fans up. So they got to do something. But oh my gosh, if you're gonna, now if we get a really good team and JB's bad, then that's a different story.
That's different.
But, yeah, don't blame the coach.
No, I did, and Steve, I tried to head that off at the pass as Rico and I started today because I'm just like, oh, okay, this is what we're gonna do. First time something goes south, what are you gonna do? Throw the coach over the boat? Come on, Don't do that. How about you blame players? Wait, you think it was a good day for film study? You think that those defensive assignments, the communication on the back end of the defense, I was a nightmare film review, and Durham was a big part of that. You get outplayed by Wendell Carter, that's not a coaching thing, especially when you're the one who wants damn near $40 million a year. Yeah. Here's Rico.
Imagine a world where you can leave home and take your home Wi-Fi speeds with you. Thanks to Xfinity Mobile, it's not just a fantasy, just picture it. You're at your kid's soccer game, but you're streaming the other game in 4K, just like that. In the airport, download a cozy family comedy and a snap with the Wi-Fi Power Boost. What if the places you had to be felt more like the places you wanted to be? That's the magic of Xfinity Mobile. Reliable Wi-Fi and 5G when you need it. Xfinity, imagine that. Cut your mobile bill in half with 2 lines of unlimited. Visit XfinityMobile.com to learn more. Restrictions apply. Xfinity Internet requires savings based on promotional rates of 2 lines of Xfinity Mobile Unlimited versus regular rates of 2 lines of T-Mobile Experience More, Verizon Unlimited Plus, and AT&T Starter as of 2/10/26. Taxes and fees are extra after promo. Regular rates apply. To get started, call Xfinity, visit Xfinity.com, or just drop into an Xfinity store today.
All right, we'll get to the people. We'll check in on the text as well. I want to get a little NFL in today, but the Pistons obviously take the main stage. Kenny, what channel are the Wings on tonight?
This is very hurtful.
Can I say one thing before we get back to the Pistons?
Sure.
Instead of being able to just feel happy for Buffalo and the fans, and first of all, the game was electric. You're down 2-0 in an NHL playoff game with about 9 minutes to go. You simply don't win that game. That atmosphere, that crowd, that emotion.
Yeah.
And I was thrilled for them. And I think unless you're truly just a soulless Richard, you're going to root for Buffalo. Also, one of the most underrated logos in all of sports. The point is, it made me even more spiteful of Steve Yzerman and the Red Wings.
You know what? I thought about you over the weekend, Mike, because when I saw Martone score his goal for the Flyers, and I heard you say, how come we can't get guys to show up like that?
I've been waiting years for such a thing. And it's just, I get angry.
I just saw little Mikey just so angry. Like, really? He just goes straight from college and he's just scoring goals.
I know.
And we're still waiting on all of these guys.
We got Rasmussen and Casper and Daniel. See, you put all three of them together, they wouldn't have Porter Martone's offensive ability. Kenny, hold on, no lies told. No, I'm sorry. But it was, are you rooting for Buffalo? Are you like me?
I am, especially considering how wholly unlikable most other teams in the Eastern Conference are. Buffalo seems to be the most, and hockey seems to, there's a few markets that this exists in. Hockey seems to be better when X team is good.
Yes, I miss Grant Fuhrer with the Sabres.
Right.
So look, I just want to ask you this other question, and I don't know the answer to this. I didn't want to go down this rabbit hole, but what's going on with Tkachuk in Ottawa again? Again, there's more tension there. Are you ready? Hear me out.
Uh-oh.
Straight up, or as Teddy KGB once said in Rounders, straight up. Ready? Raymond for Tkachuk.
Yes. Done. That solves like 3 of your problems in one swing.
That'll add a little sandpaper to the first line.
And all of a sudden, Larkin stops getting messed with because you have to answer the bell to a guy like
any shot. I feel like something's brewing up there.
And then at that point, Wings fans will be Tkachuk fans.
That's how it works. It'd be like New Wave Chelios.
Right. I hate him. Oh, wait, he's a Wing. Love him. Love the chili.
It's a basketball game. No. Great shot. Right. All right, we'll go. Whoa.
That's a precursor. It ain't happening, guys. Stop giving yourself hope. It's not happening.
I'm not. Hockey reporting is that there's a lot behind the scenes there. That's all.
It ain't coming to Detroit.
All right, let's just break down the Wings game.
It's 4:21, and Yzerman still has a job. All right, good talk. We'll move forward. We'll go to Albert, 97.1. Al, what's good, buddy?
Mike Rico, how's it going, guys?
Good, hey. Al. What's on your mind?
So I think to start, obviously, I didn't like this matchup for the Pistons from the beginning just because, obviously, like you said, the Magic were riddled with injuries all year. And they got a guy, Paolo Banchero, who, when he turns it on, is a star in this league. But I think what irritated me most about last night's game, and one of the previous callers mentioned it, was this team cannot afford to show up to games lackadaisical because of their insufficient talent. I think that's what made them so good, is their ability to play defense and hustle and get to loose balls and get out in transition and get easy baskets. When they're not doing that, and you force them to play in the half court, and you force Cade to take 21 shots like you said, that's when they start to have problems. And guys like Tobias Harris spotting up in the corner, he had like 6 open threes last night, and I think he hit 1.
Well, I think
you're forcing guys like
Albert, one quick note on that, though, too. There's a reason we wanted to trade him at the deadline is, A, playoff Tobias is a thing, but B, when he goes, Duran's getting all of his money. So how do you get better? The free agent class is atrocious this summer. So, yeah, keep your eye on it because, look, Cade is the one who caped up for Tobias to be here. But you look at it like, what was he, 1 for 7 from deep? I mean, come on, man. Like, it's not good enough. And the problem is, and it's why, Albert, I can't blame JB. Who's he supposed to play?
Yeah, no, I think the JB narrative, like blaming JB, is completely asinine. I think it's lazy. When you got guys like Dennis Jenkins, who's making his playoff debut and has been in the G League for his whole life, no slight to Dennis. He's been a spark for the team. But we need guys that have been here, guys that are made for moments like the playoffs. And I think guys like Duncan Robinson should be played sparingly. I think guys like Kevin Huerter should be played sparingly. Not guys that you lean on to get you baskets in clutch time situations. And I think Cade Cunningham, like last night, he had to go get 40, and we still lost by double digits because, especially in the fourth quarter, Cade Cunningham and friends versus everyone.
But it's also, and Albert, hold on, though. The one thing we can't gloss over, didn't the Magic start the fourth quarter 5 for 5 from the field? Like, they shot 50% from the field, and you shot 39%. Like, that your defense is something that people are sleeping on here. It wasn't nearly good enough last night.
No, not at all. And I think that's what concerns me about Payne, because now that if and when Jalen Duren makes this third NBA all NBA team, he's eligible for even more money this offseason. And I think I've seen reports of nearing $290 million.
I wouldn't do it.
Get that money.
I wouldn't do it.
If he is going to get that money, because I think he will, he has to improve defensively. And I love JD, but
hold on. There's a multitude of things here. And Albert, what fans don't realize, and there was some reporting on this from late last week, the salary cap's not going up. It's not. No, like not. We're all like, it's actually going down $1 million. And here's the problem: you get used to having more free money. Mm-hmm. The cap's not going up because the NBA has problems. So I had this argument earlier in the year, and I've been proven right. Like, the NBA's not doing the TV numbers you think they're doing. It's actually pretty awful because the regular season is unwatchable.
But I saw it on social media. It must be true, right?
Got it. I have data to back this up. I know we're not going to do this now. Maybe we get into it tomorrow a little bit, kind of that gap day in between playoff games. Rico, I will give you the data. My point in all of it is, if you pay Duren, the system is broken in the NBA. With the All-NBA and the accelerators, it's just like it's broken with the 65-game rule. So you get into this spot where you go, okay, well, this player achieved this, so now I have to pay him. Wait a second. Not all max guys or all NBA guys are the same.
Right. Not every star is a superstar.
Right. Like if this was Bam Adebayo, okay. At least I know Bam can hit a shot. And he's arguably the best non-Jokic big man passer in the sport. Like, that's quite a skill. Like, with Duren, I want him as a member of the team. I want to give him a raise.
But you almost feel held hostage. Like, I don't want to give you that much, but I do want you on this team.
Right, and you end up in a spot where between him and Cade, they'll make $100 million. And now what's left over? Because you still don't have a number two. And look, I know what people are going to say. Well, JD's still young, right? But take me on this vision quest where all of a sudden we're posting up Duren, and he's giving me a Boncaro dream shake. Can we go on the vision quest where JD routinely in a pick and roll all of a sudden now steps back and grabs the 18-footer and hits it? Guys, that's not a shot at him. It's just you're kind of hope casting a lot of that.
Yeah, I kind of figured that if that step was going to happen, it was going to be between year 2 to year 3 that he added that new element to his game.
You got one more summer, and I'm out of hope. Unless you're going to have one of these like late stage things that take place. I don't know. But yeah, they're gonna have to pay him a lot of money. And that's where I've always been skittish about it. Yeah. Because Cade's game to me becomes unstoppable with a modern center. One that can roll or fade. Now, the fourth quarter, what I put around those guys, I don't need nearly as much. I can run a two-man game almost exclusively, last 7 minutes of the game. How are you going to stop it? True. We know Cade will carve out whatever space he needs. He plays a lot like Chris Paul, young Chris Paul, not Matlock edition, where he can negotiate space. If you put a center with him that can hit a three or, God, please, could you hit a 20-footer? Rico, how do you stop it? Well, if you don't have that, and now I've paid him, what am I putting around him? Oh, is this where I get all the people? And look, I had no problem. In fact, I supported the drafting of Ron Holland. But I told you, he's years away from being anything functional. Right now, he just runs around. It's like a kid's soccer game. He flies around out there and just tries to do something. What play you running for him? You want him taking a big shot with 6 minutes left?
No.
You see my point. 248-539-9797. All right. I don't have the audacity to tell you spring is here. We'll wait for tomorrow to tell you that. But if you're thinking about a new ride, check out Moran Buick GMC of Sterling Heights right now. A 26 Sierra Elevation Crew Cab, $199 a month, 24 months, or a 26 Buick Envista, $249 a month, both leases, $999 down. And if your current vehicle needs attention, just take it to Moran. They got you covered. Certified service, and unlike other dealers, they offer free loaners when you schedule that certified service appointment. So make the smart move. Premier Buick GMC dealer in the area. It's Moran Buick GMC, where you always get the best price, period. You can visit them on Van Dyke, south of 18 Mile, or shop anytime at MoranExpress.com. It's Moran Buick GMC. We are professional grade. All right, we'll round out some Piston calls here. We'll get to some NFL because the draft is here. And let's face it, not everybody cares about hoops. It's just reality. Facts back that up. So we'll go to Tom, and then we'll get some text. Tommy, you get the last word, buddy. What's up?
Well, I'll give the Pistons the benefit of the doubt for a couple of reasons. First reason is I think this was like the Jalen Suggs game yesterday. He really had a huge impact. He set the tone. And when it should have been, someone on the Pistons, it should have been a Soar, should have been Beef Stew, it should have been someone else. And hopefully in game 2 that'll happen. The second thing is, I don't think Duren, he had an all-star season. Now he's averaging like 20 and 10. He was terrible yesterday. I think he'll play better. He should. He's been able to prove that he can win games for the Pistons, and that's got to be – he's got to show up for us to –
Yeah, there's no argument. But, Tommy, in fairness, that's because he can't play worse. It's all upside from here because that was dreadful.
Well, we can only hope.
Yeah. But, no, you're right in banking on that. And I like Duren. And look, we had a little sidebar about the contract and where I'm leery of it. None of that is panic about the series or anything. I still think they'll win the series, but that has to be a reality check last night. I think for the fan base as much as the team.
True, yeah. I mean, is he DeAndre Ayton or is he Alonzo Mourning? Probably somewhere in between. He's someone mentioned he's probably like your third option, your third guy, and I think it's becoming clear because that Magic team is. I mean, if you look at our depth chart, which is what the playoffs are all about, your lineup strength, you're going to be playing 5, 6, 7 guys at the most. And it's slim pickings for the Pistons right there.
It is,
and this is where the trade deadline that those chickens are coming to roost.
Look, Duren is your number 3. You can win a championship. I'd love to have him. Want him here. But you need a legit number 2. And I don't know where they're getting it.
No, because I don't think you're going to get it from the draft because of where you're picking.
Or they already have it. It's Dennis time. David? Also, by the way, Kenny told me David was slandering Dennis Jenkins on social media.
I was not.
I like Dennis is a spark plug, but Dennis is not something you have to depend upon. If he can come off of the bench and give you that spark.
I thought he was great. That's what I was told. He was great. MVP-like.
David, what is your problem with this guy?
I have no problem with the guy.
Did Dennis,
Nope.
I was going to say, did he do something unsavory at church? Or what is your problem?
Did his check bounce?
I have no problem with him as a player. I have a problem with the fans that told us how great he was. When the playoffs come around, Dennis is going to be amazing. Okay, it's the playoffs. Things change.
In fairness, it is one game? Question mark.
And again, he won't be great. He'll be a compliment, but he won't be great. Stop using the word great, people, because he's not that.
But
there's something brewing here. I think there's an issue between David and Dennis.
I think it was because, and David, I don't want to speak for you. It was because you saw him, in the social media world wearing the championship belt and, look at Dennis and all that he got overhyped?
Nope. I don't care about a championship belt. He can wear that. I don't care anything about that.
Well, I do. This team hasn't won anything. Not a thing. Yeah, but boy, do they love so much bravado. I love how they talk so tough, but then they're the aggrieved that no one respects them. Pick a lane. Here's an idea. Shut your mouth, bust someone's ass, earn your respect. Even in the pregame walk-up, they had Bobby and his toupee out there. Well, the Pistons are upset. They're not favored to win the East. Shut up. Play. And then you proceed to get wired by the Magic.
You then prove Vegas right. And this is why you're not favored to win the East.
What have you won? You had the best record in the worst Eastern Conference in history. Okay, great. What are you going to do, raise a banner? The We Tried Hard banner?
No, but it was the fact that it felt like disrespect because
this Detroit insecurity drives me nuts.
If it was the worst East, then why is Boston and why is Cleveland and why is New York ahead of you?
If you felt so disrespected, then go out there and show that, you know what, we felt disrespected, so we blew them out in game 1. Instead, you had no energy in game 1. Nothing.
No, because, and look, I know they were a better 1 seed, but OKC kind of told Phoenix, You can go over there and take your gift bag and go home, or you can force us to beat you 3 more times.
They're the only team with negative odds to win the title and go back to back.
Yeah.
You think OKC cared about the regular season? They basically, it was like when you were a kid and you would ghost ride your bicycle. Be like, wee! That's all. It doesn't matter.
But I'm saying.
Now they're locked in and they're ready to kill people.
Right, but if you wanted the disrespect thing, go out there and prove it and show Orlando, yeah, guys, unfortunately, you're going to take the brunt of this disrespect. No
Wednesday
offense.
night, put the belt on.
Okay. Mike's guaranteeing a win.
I'm saying I still believe the Pistons are going to be okay, but it won't take much for me to swing that vote where, like if this game looks like game 1, then it becomes a fundamental problem, not just a one-off. And I don't know. Am I wrong for giving the Pistons this 1-game mulligan and, hey, come out Wednesday and show me?
No, but I think for me, even though each season is different, I then hearken back to you couldn't beat the Knicks at home. Like you beat them in New York, but I don't know what it is about LCA. It's like, guys, and I think maybe
they've got it. Here's the thing: it's not like the Red Wings are winning a lot of playoff home games.
You know what?
I just need Dennis.
I missed Kenny. All right, I'm just catching up with my pal.
You know what I have to say to that, Mike?
No.
Oh, please stop. Not doing it.
Come on.
You know what? I'm not going to play a drop I was going to play. Let's just keep it moving. David texts, and then we will get to some NFL.
Pistons got exposed. They are the only team that cared during the regular season. Now everybody cares, and Pistons aren't special. I blame Trajan for that. He should have made some moves. We have a GM problem in Detroit. That is
I think it goes back to the reporting after the trade deadline. They view this as house money, which is a horrific way to view this. I view this as an opportunity that is still before them. But don't ever tell me they made a good faith effort of getting better at the deadline. They didn't. And that is sacrilege to me. When Cleveland did and the Celtics did, those are your main competitors.
And it only gets harder next year because Indiana will be back.
Will they?
I think they will. Because they're going to have a top pick.
Okay. Halliburton's health is a mess. Did you see he was battling shingles?
Yeah.
I thought that's like what 90-year-olds had.
Maybe he is 90.
He's going to have to hit the gym. Yeah.
Well, no, because he's on a bunch of medicine that like messed with his body. And I'm like,
I think he'll be back.
We'll check back 4th of July on Halliburton.
I think he'll be back.
Okay.
But you get a top pick as well. In a draft, that's a pretty good draft.
Can't wait for the Blues to win the lottery. Get it?
Here's one more text here coming in from Tom. He says, can he tell Mike the Wings are on the same channel as the Islanders?
That's right. Boom! Oh, you showed me. Our GM's in his first year. Yours is in his now 8th.
He needs 2 more years. And then,
buddy, I have reached DGAF phase.
How long did
I'm done.
No. How long did it take Buffalo?
Oh, the old 15-year rebuild.
There you go.
Well, hey, you know what? Maybe since the Wings aren't in the habit of putting a lot of banners up, we can raise this one. Longest drought in the sport. Raise that one up right next to Del Vecchio.
That would have been great for fan appreciation.
Look at what we've given you. Let's fly. By the way, the saddest thing before I left, poor Mickey. The night they got eliminated, he's in his shacket. He's between the benches. You could tell Mickey was ready to eviscerate this team.
I felt awful for that guy.
I felt terrible. I love Mickey Redmond.
I do too. He's the best we got.
He's a gentleman. You could tell Ken Daniels was so disgusted, and Ken is a lovely man.
Talk about getting your tea times ready.
Mickey was ready to go Harry Doyle. He was ready to go full-blown major league on this team's. That's what it felt like. All right, let's take care of some business. FanDuel, bet 5, get $250 in bonus bets if your first bet wins. Player props on your favorites. The tools you need to back them up. It's everything you need in one app. Don't miss your shot. FanDuel.com/Michigan to get started. Pistons odds took a big hit, but they're still minus 180 to win the series. I wouldn't do that. Just no value in that. But to win the title, plus 2,500, David, got that Greater Life Church Fund. We're going to get the new pews with the cup holders in them.
Just bet on him to win these series.
21 and up, present in Michigan. First online real money wager, only $5 first deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms, sportsbook.fanduel.com. You got a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER. That's 1-800-GAMBLER. All right, let's touch table on some football or whatever the hell Rico's got planned. Can we say that? What do we got here? No. Listen, do that if I want to do that at 5:30. I do. I want to do that at 5:30. I need more time for the mock draft. We don't have that kind of time this segment. You're fine. Kenny, get the damn tablet. We don't have that kind of time because of these stupid hard outs.
Let's go. I got a few.
That's the spirit. Speed round
Michael,
edition.
in honor of you, can we say the Giants won the trade with the Bengals and getting the number 10 overall pick in the draft and getting rid of Sexy Dexy?
Yes. When a guy hasn't played elite level football in a year and a half, and I'm pretty sure Dexter Lawrence ate Dexter Lawrence, then you want to be paid, and your agent won't allow the coach to communicate with you or the GM to communicate with the agent.
Why? Because he felt like John Harbaugh would actually convince him to want to be a Giant.
Right. So at that point, yeah, you take fat ass out of town. Goodbye. Like, it's just see ya. To get a top 10 pick, yeah, it's a bad draft, but it's still a top 10 pick for a player who you didn't want to pay and didn't want to be there, and you really didn't have a lot of leverage on the open market. It's a huge success for the Giants. And look, I'm not knocking the Bengals. This draft is atrocious for interior defensive linemen. What do they need most? They need help up front. Maybe Dexter decides he wants to play, certainly at less than 400 pounds. Maybe it works out for everybody involved. But yeah, as a Giant fan, I'm thrilled. Go to hell, man. Dexter Lawrence was garbage last year. See you later, dude.
Can we say that Georgia wide receiver Zachariah Branch is living up to Georgia legacy?
Okay, can someone explain what he was arrested for? All I saw was there was an obstruction charge, but he was standing on a street?
It sounded as if it was after their spring game, the red and black game, and yeah, I guess cops tried to break up people standing around, and I guess he didn't want to leave.
Well, at least he wasn't operating a motor vehicle, so I'm going to give him a +1 by Georgia standards.
The bar is very, very low at Georgia.
Correct.
I'm learning.
I don't get it. It seemed to be a very weird story. That's all I can say.
I just saw Georgia player, cops. It was like, my goodness.
I like how Rico just like AI. Rico has now learned it's Georgia player, cops, car, speed.
Guys, can we say that spring games have become a little bit of a clown show? Let me explain.
Don't know
what you saw. The parachuters who fell and hit the scoreboard.
FE Tech.
FE Tech.
That I did. I did see that.
You had the players fall on top of each other at Oklahoma.
That was hilarious.
The Texas A&M captain gets carted off the field.
What
He
happened?
got injured.
Oh,
and
dear.
yeah, it's just like, have we reached the point now? What are we doing?
Here's the point we've reached. I can't name 10 Spartans as we sit here on April 19th or whatever it is. I've reached a point of zero care.
Yeah.
Not the whole I can't care less routine. No, I'm at literal zero. I'll just see you in August. What am I going to take out of it?
Dude, the MVP from the spring showcase was the roster sheet because I wore that thing. Hey, okay, who 22? Who is that? Wow, he's pretty good. Okay, where's this guy from?
You taking anything out of Bryce Underwood, David?
Not to be worried about it.
Did he throw the backwards pass?
He did not throw it in a spring game, just in a practice, which, whatever. I was not impressed, but it's spring, so we'll just wait and see.
David, it was a very impressive 3 of 9 for 22.
Sure it was.
Could have been worse. Could have been for 20.
The footwork is a problem. It's concern. That's all. Footwork. Fix it.
Mike, you weren't here for this one. Can we say Will Anderson's extension with the Texans was a win-win for both sides?
No. What do you mean? You can't have two good defensive ends. Sign Brad on Rotunda. I thought that was illegal. You mean you can have two high-level DNs that really wreak havoc and cornerstone a defense?
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
He got 3 years, $150 million, and 134 of that is fully guaranteed.
It's a win-win, man. You got to do it now. He's at the height of his powers. Daniil Hunter is still superb, and that defense they have made a decision. We are going to be a defensive football team. Just do it. The cap ain't real in football. I just still can't believe a team did it. I thought you weren't allowed. I thought there was something in the CBA.
We got one. We got Aiden.
Signed Rod in Bermuda.
Yeah. And I guess can we say that the A.J. Brown to the Patriots may be the worst kept secret in the NFL?
Outside of Rossini and Vrabel? Sure. Hey, by the way, who was doing most of the reporting on that trade?
We were told.
Oh, wait. Old Diana.
I mean, when
I wonder where she was getting her info.
When the trade happens on June 1st, I think we all will. Everybody's shock face will be like, really? Didn't see that coming.
The Rossini story is more incredible as time goes on. How did you think this was going to play out? You were in public at a couples resort. This wasn't even trying to hide.
Because
no, Kenny, no.
Because I think they thought you're 2 hours away in Sedona, which is just basically a hippie city that doesn't care about sports. So nobody would recognize them.
When he's not at home with his wife and kids, and you're not at home with your wife and babies, there's a chance a PI would be involved. Or we live in a society where everyone's filmed all the time. How did you think that was going to roll?
I guess you thought, it wasn't like they rolled up to Coachella.
No, and Vrabel doesn't care because he doesn't have any journalistic standards to uphold. He can just look like a bad guy or a bad look.
Well, no, and they said that he won't basically talk to the media until the season starts.
So. Okay, good talk. Well, we'll just barrage you with questions about your side piece then. I mean, give me a break.
Wonderful pick in the first round. Mike, let's talk about this real quick.
Yeah, I mean, what do you think? Waiting until the start of the season is going to matter? Sorry, I know we got sidetracked there.
I got time for one more?
Sure.
Okay. Can we say that the 49ers still need to draft an offensive tackle even though they just locked up Trent Williams for 2 years?
Yes, because it will give you a 2-year window where that O-line has a chance to take a huge step up. Like the old Staley and Numbnut, Anthony Davis. You have a chance to get the best that's left out of Trent and get a young guy in there to play now and then flip him over when Trent leaves. I would, Rico. Yes, because this draft sucks for interior D-line.
Yeah, this is similar to what Philly did when they drafted Cam Jurgens, knowing that in a couple years it's probably going to be your time. Take your time.
It's like what the Lions did with Ragnow.
That's Can We Say That? 97-1.
Brought to you. Brought to you by Michigan Lottery. The Tigers lost to the Red Sox 8-6. Detroit gave their best effort at a comeback attempt to the ninth, down 5, but were only able to put 3 more on the board. How you lead a pair of hits is first in the big leagues. Jack Flaherty started for the Tigers, allowing 6 walks and 2 unearned runs. Manager A.J. Hinch weighed in on the performance after the game. The Rockets are down 1-0 to the Lakers.
Why don't you yell at Rico some more, tough guy?
Stop it. I'll yell at him on the air. Give me a chance. Game 2 tomorrow. Kevin Durant will be a game-time decision in that one. Former Giants standout Odell Beckham Jr. worked out for his old team today, and according to Ian Rappaport, he also says a return is possible. And Mike will get a jersey. Ian also noted that Matthew Stafford extension talks are getting serious with the Rams. The Cowboys have made Brandon Aubrey their highest paid kicker in NFL history at $7 million annually and $20 guaranteed. At the Corwell House Sports Desk, I'm Jeremy Otto. For more, go to 97.1 The Ticket or Odyssey.com.
5 o'clock. Great to have everybody with us. Jeremy Otto, stay with us for a second because there was a heated discussion between you and Rico.
Yes.
And I just sat back and listened to it unfold. Also, shout out you going right from yelling at Rico into an update. True professionalism.
And then went back to yelling at me.
It's called 3, 2, 1. You cool it, and then during the cut, you yell again. And
It's
then,
fantastic.
Then you bring it back together.
So
yes.
here's what we were talking about. It was the Pistons game 1. They dropped it. Rico and you have this debate about rest versus rust.
Sure.
So have this out right now because, look, we've already talked. I'm not panicked. I am concerned because I didn't buy into their regular season the way that a lot of fans did. And Orlando has been this pet team of mine that if they got healthy, they're kind of designed to bust your balls. I still think Pistons are going to win the series, but they got bullied last night. Now, you two, ready? 3, 2, 1, action.
All right, here's what he said. He said, do you think there'll be more pressure on the Pistons if Cleveland goes 2-0? And I said, no. I think there'd actually be more pressure on the Cavs at that point because then they'd be dealing with a little bit of rest.
And I said, no.
Rust.
Right. You're like, well, no, you don't think that the Pistons were rusty. And I'm like, no.
You don't think they were rusty at all?
You're the 1 seed. So you know what I look at the other 1 seed, and the other 1 seed beat their team by about 30-plus points. It wasn't even close.
How about the 2006 Tigers who went into the World Series?
How about that's not the same?
Okay, then you can't say the same as for the Thunder.
They're
2 different teams.
No, they're both 1 seeds in the same season.
So?
One came out
Why
there.
can't I compare the
played,
Tigers to them then? Why not?
Because that's base. I'm
Who
talking
cares?
apples to apples. Okay, 1 seed OKC, 1 seed Detroit Pistons. One team went out there and beat their team by 30-plus points. The other team lost at home.
Mike, do you think they were rusty at all? I'm not saying that's the one reason why they lost.
No, I think, first of all, the rust thing, I'm willing to concede that point and say, look, the first quarter is your rust playing out. After that, there's really no excuse. And to be fair, Jeremy, in today's NBA, being down by 13 is nothing. This league is nuts.
No, I agree.
So that's one. So I think both things can be true is, hey, Orlando's fresh and they've been in survival mode. But after the first quarter, the fact that the Pistons never took the lead in this game and got wired, got out-toughed, out-hustled, and frankly, Jeremy, here's the problem. Their defense wasn't any good. They lost the game because they don't have enough talent. That's why they lost the game.
But they won all those games because of their defense, did they not? Or a lot of them?
Well, here's the problem. This is the conundrum. Is I think the Pistons are more of a 50-win team than 60. You're right that they did, but look at the construct of the regular season in today's NBA. You playing teams that sit people, they don't play anybody. Buddy,
they show up to LCA and the stars are not playing.
There
in
were
the game.
13 teams tanking this year, Jeremy. So, and by the way, we talked about the East, right? No Tatum all year. Orlando was hurt all year. Indiana died basically in the finals last year. I think that feeds into it. The Pistons can both be good, but also nowhere. They're not 60 win good. So when you run it, all right, let me ask you this, Jeremy.
Yes.
Because you and I can have a civil conversation, unlike
I
you.
can't see you because this monitor's in the way.
Oh, we're fine.
Well, you know why you two can have a civil conversation. He yells at me.
Wow. We've got racial tension, everybody. So look.
I love everyone.
Clearly, you got 17 kids.
Right.
We know it.
I have 3.
That we know of.
Somebody asked me on Twitter the other day, do you really have 7 kids? I'm like, no, I have 3.
Okay, Kenny?
Settle down, everyone. Settle down.
Now listen, I want to ask you this question. So when you look at the series and we talk about, I want you to rank the top 6 players in the series. Because I know you bristled when Rico mentioned talent. I'd argue Orlando has 4 of the top 6 players in the series. I think that is an inconvenient truth for this Pistons team. Because if you take Suggs, Boncaro, Bane, and Numbnuts, Wagner, the Pistons have the best player in the series in Cade. And even though he played like dog water last night, Duren is somewhere in that top 6, right?
Yeah.
Well, they've got 4, you have 2. I think that's a distinct problem. No?
It is, but here's the thing, and you hit the nail on the head. Look, they did not play good defense last night, and they can't afford to not play defense to win these games. But I don't expect them to come out and lay an egg again in game 2, do you?
No, because if they do, then like an investigation has to get launched. And if they don't come out playing with their hair on fire Wednesday night, I give up.
Then it'll be 12 straight games, playoff games, that they lost. But hey, they were rusty in the first 11.
They were rusty in the first 10 minutes. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying they were rusty the whole game.
You're like, well, they were rusty.
I know, but I prefaced that with saying it wasn't the focal reason they lost. They were rusty for the first 10 minutes. That's what I agree with.
Every top seed just went out there and handled business.
And they let Orlando
Well, there's only 2 of them.
They let Orlando
I'm
speed
saying
dictate them.
The higher ranked teams all went out there and handled. It was chalk.
I just wanted you guys to take the off-air on-air. It was scintillating. Jeremy, I appreciate it.
Yes, anytime.
I think both of you make credible points. Now the next point needs to be you, the listener.
Let you know.
248-539-9797.
Rico,
I want
I
to
love
hear
you.
from
I'm telling
you guys.
Doug, you weren't
You guys want to get an effing room already? Listen, I want to hear from the Piston fans. What's your concern level? And who do you blame? Is it as simple as blaming Duren? Because I don't know if that's – look, defense is a team game. Now, Duren is that captain of the back line. Yeah, he had a bad game. But it's deeper than that. You allowed Orlando to shoot 50%, and you barely shot 40%. You didn't force a lot of turnovers. You didn't shoot great from 3, only at 10 of them. And you don't get to cry about officiating the way every fan base in the NBA does. You shot 40 free throws.
Yeah. You have to show Orlando that you have a plan B, that if you know what, if you're just going to allow Cade to shoot and shut everybody else down, well, we're going to have somebody for you. Somebody else is going to rise up and score 16 to 20 points in a game, and that's going to be the difference maker.
It's when you pride yourself on defense and you give up 54 points in the paint. That doesn't add up. You cannot say you're a defensive team and give that up. Can't do it.
I'm with you, David, and I think the biggest thing was, what do you do with Oscar Thompson? Because he's one of the top 3 players for Defensive Player of the Year.
God, can we just retire him?
He struggles offensively. So, yes, if you take the lead, then that's when you can lean on that defense and you can shut down Orlando. But when you're playing catch-up, I understand why he only played 9 minutes in the second half, because it was a pick your poison.
Well, right, but at the start of the fourth quarter, and Orlando gets out to a 5-for-5 start, that goes a long way in killing your ability to take control of the game. Look, this is why I'm not in love with the idea of Duren and Asor being prime players for this team. You get in the playoffs and you're playing 3-on-5, that's going to be a tough order. Now, if you can get Cade a legit all-NBA number 2, I don't know how they're going to do it. I don't know how they'd afford it. It could change my opinion on this. But if I'm Cade, I would have taken a baseball bat to a chair after the game. I'm Cade effing Cunningham, and my backcourt mate with 3:50 to go and we're down 7 is Dennis Jenkins.
Hey,
I would have turned into Harry Doyle.
You couldn't know because you didn't want to part with Tobias Harris. That was Cade. Needed Uncle T there.
Yeah, well, don't worry. He ain't going to be here for long. And I don't know what you're replacing him with. Because if you think you're going to roll out every night and put a Soar there and Duran next to him, what are you kidding me? Offensively, you'll get nowhere. And as much as you do need to play quality defense, high-level defense to win a championship, you're not going to do it in the absence of offense. The Pistons are a bottom 5 team shooting the three. They don't take them. They don't make them. And they don't have anybody who can create a shot outside of Cade Cunningham. It's a flaw. They're still good enough to win this series, but Rico, you're getting a preview. Not you. Fans are getting a preview of what the second round would look like because Orlando was gutted by injuries. Wagner missed 47 of the last 51. He's their second best player. Now you're seeing why they did what they did to get Desmond Bane because it rounded out everything. They've got a pair of 6'10 guys that are absolute shot creators. You don't have that. And Suggs a bit of a goofball, but look, he's still better than basically anything you have outside of Duran and Cade. Bane is legit. It's just nobody watched him in Memphis. So you put those guys out there. I mean, I'm not sitting here telling you any of these dudes are Hall of Famers, but if Good Boncaro shows up the way it has in the playoffs, in years past and last night, and Wagner's back and healthy, Asor can only guard one of them.
Right.
And that I'm sorry, Duran getting outplayed by Wendell Carter. I did not have that on my bingo board.
I don't think anybody did.
That was something.
I was like, Wendell Carter, wow. You know it's not your night.
Oh, we're getting disrespected. Yeah, maybe here's why. Stop crying about disrespect. Just go play. Why does every team in this town have to do this Detroit inferiority complex? Just play.
Because everybody hates Detroit, Mike.
Nobody hates Detroit. Detroit's like one of the darlings of the United States.
Las Vegas didn't give Detroit the best odds.
Because you're not the best team.
Semantics.
Facts are mean.
Tomato, tomato.
Okay, I'm just saying. Jeez. You know what Vegas doesn't do? Feelings.
I know.
All right, 248-539-9797. It's all going to be fine. Everybody just calm down. Get Otto back in here to yell at Rico again. That was enjoyable. All right, it's Truck Month. Moran Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 selling Chevy dealer, 2 years in a row. You can lease a 26 Silverado RST Crew Cab, V8 engine as well, $249 a month, or a 26 Equinox starting at $235 a month, and both leases, 24 months, $999 down. Your current vehicle needs attention, no stress. They got you covered. MoranExpress.com for that certified service. You get the loaner vehicle too. Shop online anytime, MoranExpress.com, or stop by on Gratiot, just north of 15 Mile in Clinton Township. Moran Chevrolet, where you always get the best price, period. It's Chevrolet. Together, let's drive. Let's get to the people. Talking Pistons. Game 1 loss. Get wired. First 1 seed to go wire to wire down since 98. Yeah, I mean, it feels like it'll be a long series because Wagner being back, it becomes a distinct problem. And Orlando was built to muddy it up, pack the paint. They're a lot like you. They don't take and make a ton of threes. Now, last night they took more threes than I expected. Got out to a hot start early and then basically couldn't throw it in the damn ocean and still shot 50% from the field. They bodied you in the paint. I expect the Pistons to come out and they should dump truck this team Wednesday night. And if you don't, then my concern will turn to panic. It's just that simple. Even if Wednesday night is a close win and Orlando is going toe-to-toe, no, then I'm going to get real concerned. Like a league game 2, you're supposed to dump truck this team.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is supposed to be like that 15, 20-point victory.
Basically like every other game. And
Yes.
What an awful weekend of basketball. We'll save it for tomorrow. I have data. Rico, at what point is good NBA? When do we hit good NBA phase?
I'm assuming the next playoff round.
Okay. I'll hold my breath. We'll go to Ray, 97.1. Ray, how you doing, buddy?
Oh, I'm doing all right. Good to talk to you, Mike. Welcome back from vacation. Hi, Rico.
Hey, Ray.
Rico said something earlier in the show that I just vehemently disagree with, in the fact that I had a problem with the fans last night. He said that the fans had nothing to cheer for, and I just very much disagree. I mean, you had Mason, you had the final countdown, you had former players. I mean, you name it. I mean, it was a playoff atmosphere. And what did the fans do? They left before there was, no time left on the clock, which I know your team's down 11, but could you at least stay and boo your team and tell them that you care, that was unacceptable of a performance? I mean, especially in front of Ben Wallace, to have that defensive performance, that was absolutely pathetic.
But Ray, Ray, hold on.
Yeah.
I'll let you finish. But the reasons why the fans should cheer is because of Mason and former players and not the team that's actually on the court out there giving you something to cheer about.
Yeah, I mean, you could definitely make that argument, and I think that the Pistons should have definitely given a better effort on the floor to, keep them in the game. But, I mean, just to, have, like, you look at San Antonio, what they did last night, and with, former players that they had and just that, playoff atmosphere, it was night and day, and you can't argue that.
Go ahead.
They also came out and played well. I do think, Ray, had the Pistons jumped out to an early lead, the fans would have been in this thing from wire to wire. But at some point, they were just waiting for that spark. And I think had they taken the lead when they tied the game up, that's when you would have heard that place erupt. But instead, just when they were about to have that happen, Orlando goes on another run and then another run. And yeah, I'm sorry. I do think that the team has to give the fans something to cheer about. You can't be happy because you see Ben Wallace out there or you hear the final countdown and all. That's great. But at some point, you got to give them something to cheer about.
Yeah, I think his point is they had the game tied. The crowd still was pathetic. You're down 3 or down 5. Like, I mean, I just felt like it was a flat performance all around. Team, fans, the whole bit. That's all. And as far as, you ought to be standing up and screaming for Mason. Man, this ain't 04. Good God. I swear to God, a meteor is going to hit the planet, and the only person to survive is going to be Mason.
No. It'll be Ward Manuel.
Perfect. We go to Mike, 97.1. Mike, how you doing? Mike, what's good?
How you guys doing?
Good, Mikey.
Hey, real quick, I had to laugh when the comment came up about 2006 Tigers. Like, we're talking apples to pizza. This isn't even the same thing. Like, I just got out of the vehicle, so I'm sorry if my numbers are a little bit off, but this is not a 60-win Pistons basketball team. This is a tanking league. The Pistons are good, but I just compare them to the 2004 Pistons. I believe they won 54 games. This team's not better than that team. And I think the 1990 team won 59, something like that. They're not better than that team. That's my point. Like, they're a 50-win basketball team, and I expected them to struggle a little bit against Orlando. Not surprised what happened last night. They came flat. I still think they're going to win this series, but they should be the fourth best odds to come out of the East. That's where they're at. That's my feeling.
Yeah, I probably put him third. I still don't believe in the New York Knicks, but no, point taken, Mike, and that's something we've talked about on this show for months, which is you can both respect what they've done and they go to work every night. And yeah, a lot of nights in this league, the team you're facing just simply isn't trying. But when you get to the playoffs,
number two, they need a rip. They need a Hamilton. They need somebody to come, to start there and score. They need the Batman. It's the same thing we've been talking about for months.
Yeah, and I go back to it.
You know what?
I go back to it. Michael Porter Jr. would have filled that role very nicely.
Yes. Give me Michael Porter Jr. Bye-bye Tobias. That's what they need.
Yeah, and that's the other thing is they're going to have a decision to make. It's similar to the Wings almost when you look at it. It's like I think the Wings have to make a decision about Raymond and Larkin, and maybe one of them's not here. It's similar in this regard, not that either of these guys has attained this level, but can you really carry Holland and Asur? And if you have this love for Asur Thompson and Defensive Player of the Year candidate, and he's going to provide you nothing offensively, all right, well, then maybe I can't pathway Ron Holland's ascension. Like, you have to make a decision because ultimately you will not be able to keep everyone. The tax aprons are so punitive, and you can go do some of your own research as to, like, what you have to do. Like, look at what the Celtics did last summer. You got to make – Trajan's going to have – no matter what happens. They could win this series. It could be a gentleman's sweep. My opinion of the Pistons will not change is that they're going to have change this summer.
That's almost like we're talking about the Lions. You can't keep everybody.
No, not advisable. Let's go to Kirk, 97.1. Kirk, how you doing, buddy?
Good, guys. How you doing?
Good, pal. What's going on?
I turned it off last night, and I'm looking at the box score today, and if you would have told me that Cade scored 39 and we lost, I would have been shocked. But then you see that our second-best scorer was you think right now, Harris chucking up shots, 5 to 15. But then you got Bain who went 1 for 8 from 3. You got Suggs who went 3 for 10. They were 10 of 34 from 3-point range. But guess what? From 2, they shot 60%. So
yes.
We got dogged inside. We had nothing inside. And last I checked, Duran should be playing for a contract, right? And where are you at in the first playoff game? Nowhere. And everybody's talking about him all year. And I'm not ready to hand the guy 30 to 40 million right now.
Well, and listen, the problem, Kirk, is if you have a conversation about Duran and you start to discuss the basketball reasons why I don't want to pay him, you're met with third-grade arguments. And it's just people like yelling through a megaphone, all-star. Like there has to be a level of nuance to it where, look, I want him here, but in the absence, can I keep him here if it hinders my pursuit of a real number 2? Well, the answer would be no. And the problem is your number 2 was supposed to emerge from the Jaden Ivey draft or the Asur Thompson draft or the Ron Holland draft or something. And that's not there now. And Kirk, I'm not trying to be a Debbie Downer here. I don't think he's there next year either. So I don't know what you do.
Holland had 2 shots. He made one of them, and he only played 11 minutes. Asur, we know he doesn't do anything offensively. 3 of 8. Like, these guys you had to do something other than Herter, who I tuned into the game long enough to see his only shot. And then I was just done with it after that.
Yeah.
But what are we doing? They got to do something. And I'm going to give Langdon some time because I think he deserves it.
But let's say this, Kirk.
We got to see what we can do.
Kirk, hold on. Now, they were a playoff team last year and a well-positioned one. And they had every right to believe they should have won that series against the Knicks. Now, you come back this year, and even if none of us believe they're truly a 60-win team, let's say they're a 50-win team or 52. No, you're here now. I'm done. No matter what happens, short of them winning a championship this year, no, Trajan's it is time to hit the accelerator.
Yeah. I guess I was just giving him the grace of all right, you want to run it back with your guys and see what you got, fine. But if it's not working, and obviously this first game, we can't write them off completely yet. But if we get walked, like this whole series, or we get trucked in the next round against Cleveland or whoever it might be, then you got to make some changes and you got to do some things then.
Agree completely. And Kirk, I think that's a totally reasonable discussion. I do. I'm not sure wacko Piston fans do, but whatever. 248.
Yeah, I was a little taken back when Trajan, had spoken, to paraphrase, was like, It's kind of like house money. And, guys, we got to win a playoff game at home first and win a series before I'll even think about making moves. And it was like, well, no, Trajan, that's why you want to make the moves now so that you win playoff games and you win a series. Don't wait for it to happen and then add to your team.
Kenny, what channel of Wings on?
You know what?
Man, if I made a list
Every
of
time
things,
he plays it, we'll get 3 seconds more, then that's it.
if I made a list of things I hate in sports, that's absolutely top 5.
Really?
Oh my God. I think I dislike Mason more than NIL.
We need to add that to the list, Kenny.
Mason or transfer portal, 2
Can't win with Mason.
You can. It's played out, dude. It's worse than the Macarena.
Mason, ginger quarterback.
Ginger quarterback.
Wow.
Mason or world hunger? Pfft, let people starve.
You know what? Let me tell you about Natural Way Lawn and Tree Service. Get green, stay green with Natural Way. Call 888-GET-GREEN right now. Why? Because great lawns don't happen by accident. You need the right timing and the right program, and that's where Natural Way Lawn and Tree Service comes in handy. I tell you what, I'm taking a walk, and I'm looking at other homes and lawns in my neighborhood, and I see dandelions popping up. I see weeds popping up. Guess what I don't see in my lawn? Any of that. Why? Because Natural Way Lawn and Tree Service came out and they serviced my lawn. They came up with a program designed specifically for me. It's going to strengthen the turf, improve the color, and control the weeds. They can do the same thing for you. It is not too late because, guys, once you start seeing the weeds, you're going to be fighting them all summer long. Call 888-GET-GREEN right now. That's 888-GET-GREEN or go online at naturalwaylawn.com.
We're going to have some fun here for a second at 5:30, okay? It is draft week. I know it's been under the radar with the Wings playoff chase and failure. The Pistons finally in the playoffs, and after a break. Mock draft mania, but with an added twist. This one has trades. Oh. David, music, please. All right. CBS Sports presents their final mock featuring trades. Whoa. So the draft really starts at 3, where the Arizona Cardinals, who need everything, all the way to a new owner, but the Cardinals trade with the Chiefs. The Chiefs gut their draft to move up to select edge from Ohio State, Arvell Reese. Now, makes total sense for the Cardinals. They have too many needs. They move down. What do you make of the all-in move for the Chiefs drafting the athletic freakazoid 6'4", 240 Arvell Reese?
You know what, Mike? It actually makes sense for the Chiefs because you have 2 picks in the first round. So I'm assuming you just send both of them to Arizona. Arizona needs to stockpile as many players as possible. If you're the Chiefs, look, we got one specific guy or 2 specific guys that we really need, and we really don't care about the rest. It's a weak draft. So it's actually a smart move for Kansas City.
Giants, apparently the Sonny Styles smoke is real. We'll get to them, though, at 10. Move along. I want your opinion on this one. I love this for this team.
Okay.
The Commanders at 7, selecting Carnell Tate, invest in your quarterback, put somebody opposite Scary Terry. We know Debo's dead. I actually really like the Carnell Tate thing for the Commanders.
I would have rather have gone an offensive line, but, yeah, you can give him some weapons. I would have went O-line. That's just me.
David, I want to let you handle this next one, okay, buddy? The Giants, after the Dexter Lawrence trade at 10, are going to break my heart. Instead of taking Caleb Downs the way I want, I think Caleb Downs is the best player in the draft. The Giants select, totally unnecessary, wide receiver out of Arizona State, Jordan Tyson. Discuss.
Yeah, see, I've been reading a lot about after his pro day, that he had a special pro day on Thursday, I believe it was. A lot of teams, almost half the league was there, but there was only one team that took him out to dinner afterwards, the New York Football Giants. And so that connection seems to be there, and I think they're actually going to do that.
Yeah, but if you have 2 top 10 picks and you don't use one of them on a big person, you fail.
Oh, it's wrong. Oh, for sure, it is.
Now, what I like about Tyson, he's 6'2.5", but he plays like he's 6'5". He plays big, huge catch radius.
See, I thought that Harbaugh would go in there and try to show up the defense with the 2 picks.
I hate this. The Dolphins at 11, shout out Paul Serra. They take Caleb Downs. Now, listen, we have a trade, people. The Detroit Football Lions have moved up to 13. Let's bring Kenny Cott in here for a second.
Right.
The Lions have traded with the Los Angeles Rams to go to 13, and the Lions select Alabama offensive tackle / guard Caden Proctor, listed at 6'7", 500 pounds.
That's a very large man. Whoa. Yes. But I'm in on this trade. I love this for the Lions.
To get Proctor, you're in on that?
Yes, absolutely.
With Freeling still there?
Big people in a draft that lacks talent is exactly...
he's big.
Wait. Is Freeling still there on the board?
Yes. Wow.
Oh, I didn't know that. Boy. But you know what? Still, this is a talent evaluation thing. They've been, if nothing else, been good at identifying big people.
All right, let's go to the next one over to Rico. I think this is a very, very Ravens selection here. They select at 14 guard Penn State, the guy we've comped to Alan Faneca, who he's just a killer. This Ione kid, I can't pronounce the first name. Just call him Big O.
Vega. Just call him Vega.
Yeah, whatever. Guy who kills people. Shout out Nick Bolton. Love that for Baltimore.
It is, especially because now you got Lamar Jackson taking this game seriously, so you're going to protect him.
Oh, that's funny.
Maybe you could revive King Henry's career again. No, it's a good pick, man. Whenever you invest in the best O-lineman, and I think he's the best guard.
Cold weather division, physical offensive line. Yeah. You need to run the ball. They lost Linderbaum. That makes sense to me. David, this is our whiz bang pow happy action fun pick of the first round. This is fun. You ready?
Yes.
The Bucks select Kenyon Sadiq, tight end freakazoid from Oregon.
Yeah, I say that this would help you with your loss of Mike Evans. I say getting a weapon like that, put him on the outside, line him up at tight end. You could all kind of things with him.
Godwin,
Yes.
Ibuka,
Yes.
Sadiq,
Oh,
Bucky
boy.
Irving, Whiz-Bang Pow things.
Oh, that's a fun offense.
Over to Kenny Cott for the it doesn't matter what they do, it's hopeless pick of the week. The Jets select Makai Lemon?
Yeah, that's about as Jets as you can get. Yeah, it does not matter what they do. It will not work out. The Jets are eternally cursed, and they select a wide receiver. So congratulations.
Over to Rico for an NFC North divisional selection. I think it's interesting and certainly would be interesting if you're a Lions fan. The Vikings at 18 select Jermod McCoy, corner from Tennessee. Some people have him rated ahead of Delane from LSU. But Minnesota would add a corner. It matters because, well, the Lions are in this division, the Packers are in this division, and the Bears are in this division.
Well, it's funny, Mike, because as you were on vacation, that name popped up for the Lions, and we were like, well, that's a Brad Holmes special. Why? He was injured last year. So, yes, it would be a reclamation project, but if he is healthy, it's a good pickup for Minnesota. I think he ran like a 4.3 at the combine. Like he's a speedster, and he was good. It's just he's coming off of that injury. Is he going to be completely healthy?
Over to David as the Pittsburgh Steelers at 21. They select Monroe Freeling, offensive tackle from Georgia. David, you're shaking your head. What do you want the Steelers to do?
That. If Monroe Freeling is there at 21, yes.
David.
Yes, and yes. I love that pick.
Even though your quarterback is a wacko, yes.
Oh, they have to protect him somehow.
I mean, they're building a team for him, hoping that he says he wants to play for him? Question mark.
A lot of things there, but yeah, I like that pick if it happens.
Tell me if you've heard this before, Rico. The Bills are going to try it again. They take edge Zion Young out of Mizzou. Just another D lineman as they keep spinning the wheel until something works.
Yeah, I mean, you're playing in a division where you used to be the top dog. You weren't the top dog, so you got to get better on defense. I like Zion Young. Let's see what happens.
I want to give Kenny Cott this one because this is brutal to me. With one of the picks acquired from the Chiefs, the Arizona Cardinals do the most Cardinal thing of all and select quarterback from Alabama, Ty Simpson.
Yeah, get ready for that not to work.
What?
I don't know what the logic behind that pick is. I'm as baffled by that as you are.
It just, are we sure Ty Simpson's good?
No.
No, but I think at this point, Mike, they need a quarterback.
I don't even know if he was college good.
They need a quarterback, and they're hoping that he can become their Jackson Dart.
Or just
a guy that a lot of people
and
didn't
get
have.
your quarterback next year.
No, I'm just saying. Or if you get like Jackson Dart, no one thought he was going to be this good, and he actually went to the Giants and looked pretty good. And looks like they have a franchise QB now that he went late in the first
He's going to look good in Cincinnati in a year.
Are we sure he's first round good?
No.
That's what I'm saying.
And if you're the car, you know what? It doesn't matter. What is the point? Honestly, what a rudderless ship that is. I had one other. Oh, if you just wanted to comment. Interesting. Patriots. They select someone who has been higher in this draft. I was surprised, but at pick 31, Caleb Lomu, the other tackle. Tefano from Utah, 6'6", 308. More help for Drake May up front. Little insurance if Will Campbell doesn't stick at tackle.
Yeah, I think they saw their mistake. I think that Will Campbell probably will move. He got exposed in the Super Bowl. That's a smart move for the Patriots.
Exposed like your coach at a couples resort.
What are the Niners doing in this? Or you don't care?
Hold on. Of course I care. At pick 27, the Niners select go to hell.
Okay.
Emmanuel McNeil Warren, safety out of Toledo.
He's good.
No, David, he is. And
is he?
They need an offensive tackle. They need an edge rusher, and they need a safety.
They need a substation.
And Raheem Morris's defensive safety is, yes.
More electric energy. Congrats on the selection.
You know what? $9 million said that was all a hoax.
I still really would like the Niners to take an O-lineman. I really would.
I would too, but it's one of those.
You can't fill every.
No. Is it that big of a difference between the fourth O lineman and the seventh O lineman?
Make no mistake, and we're going to talk about it in the coming days. This is a bad draft. It lacks depth. There are not a lot of stars, and a lot of teams are going to be looking to get out of the first round.
Wow.
Good thing the Lions put their entire season on pick 17.
They're going to move up or down.
David?
Or best available player.
Mastercraft Heating, Cooling, Plumbing, Electrical is offering a hell of a deal right now. You buy a new furnace or AC, you get half off the installation. And Mastercraft, they're here 24/7 for emergency service, and they back their work with a 5-year warranty. Financing options, too. Just call Mastercraft. They're pros for plumbing, electrical, generators. You name it, they have got you covered. Visit mastercraftheating.com. That's mastercraftheating.com. All right, tomorrow we'll definitely advance the ball down the field a little bit more with the draft because it does. It feels like it's been in the back burner with the Wings and their collapse, with the Pistons being the 1 seed, and the Tigers kind of the bad start to the good rebound.
The NFL draft is coming?
I know. Question mark. But pick 17 or whatever the Lions decide to do, it's a major story. They had an offseason that I don't think anybody outside of that building likes or understood. And a lot of their needs hinge on what they do at 17. So even though it's a non-premium pick, it's massive for this team. And I do wonder, look, they don't have a third-round pick. I wonder about people's desire for them to move up in a bad draft. It's not deep.
See, I think it's more of a move back and try to accumulate as many and go volume.
You can't. You have left yourself in a position where you almost have to take an offensive lineman. It's in the first round. Rico, you can't wait.
No. I'm saying, but maybe get the second first-round pick from one of the teams below you to have 2 picks. Get swap, like they fall in love with a player.
So go down in a worse draft and take a riskier player versus go up and get one of the rare. Like, look, if Brad Holmes has shown you anything, he's going to have, let's say, 14 first-round grades in this draft. He's going to get one of those guys.
Okay. Because I'm saying, if not, you could pick up a third rounder and then drop back to like maybe 24 or something like that.
I want to have that conversation with people. Okay. Because I think it's interesting, and I think you're not. It's not right or wrong. I'm saying, look at.
Because in a bad draft, Mike, you almost want to go volume and hoping that something works.
No, not after losing Decker. Not after having this offensive line look the way it did. And by the way, I'm still in a position where I have to play Larry Borum. We're going to talk about this tomorrow. And I got a quote from an AFC executive that might shape your opinion.
Hey, Rod the Bod said they're okay.
Okay, they need to put a gag order on him. Enough. What are they interviewing this guy at the St. Regis? What the hell is going on? Rod, you're retired. Hey, we might sign Brian Branch in a wheelchair. See?
He literally said that was one of the things I believe that they may sign the 2 injured players before they even hit the field. So
I'm going to talk. You know what? One person has the power to stop the insanity, and it's Bob.
I was going to say, was it Richard Simmons?
No, that was Susan Powder.
Oh, okay.
Bald lady. Stop the insanity. Bob, I need a favor.
Yeah, I love stopping insanity.
I need a cease and desist or a gag order on Rod Wood. No more. No more. Even while I was gone, what is this guy at the Four Seasons? Oh, we may say Brian Branch, even if he can't walk.
Oh, yeah, he did have another one, didn't he? Nothing today, please. Nothing today.
No. I know you have the power.
Well, I think he's officially being silenced shortly, right? Retiring?
No. Well, he said, we have a plan. I just can't share it.
Well, why does everything he says upset me? Stop it.
I think that's his plan.
I don't know. It's like he wants to say more, but he says just enough so you know he's on the inside. But
was he not hugged enough as a kid?
You're
retiring.
It feels very Fredo-ish to me.
Yeah.
I'm smart.
Right.
I got passed over. Right. Not like people say.
Right.
Well, that's pretty good.
That's not what I wanted.
I don't know why you're unhappy, though, because every time he speaks, it's good radio fodder.
It makes me upset.
Like the Frank Ragnow stuff was amazing.
We might sign Brian Branch sight unseen.
Sam Laporta, too, I think.
Oh, yeah, great. Maybe they'll both be on gurneys when they sign their deal.
He's playing to the audience. He's throwing tidbits out there.
What's next?
Well, we're going to the Pistons. I do think that was alarming.
Yeah,
Wojo's
very concerned about the state of this series.
I still think they'll win the series.
Wait. Is Wednesday?
Might be today. Nope, might be today.
Oh, I thought you were going to say must win.
Yeah, well, it is a must win.
What night are the Wings
panic?
When Stevie speaks?
I believe it's October 29th is their opener.
Well, assuredly, they've made seismic changes in the front office.
Did you guys watch the Buffalo game yesterday?
Yeah, and I actually got angry. Happy for those people.
Those people?
And it was electric.
Bob's people.
Those people.
It made me angry.
It was unbelievable. They scored that third go-ahead goal in the third period, and I'm just like, oh, man.
Did they bring
so much fun?
Did they bring the folding tables out on the ice and the mafia jumped on them and broke him in the middle
Yeah,
of
it was
the
a
ring.
scene.
Yeah, no, that's sad that we don't have that. And it is sad, but at least you got the Pistons giving. It's not that the Pistons didn't give their all last night. I just really think they were tentative. Like, and Orlando came in like a ball of fire because they just won a play-in game.
You can just say Orlando beat you at your own game.
Well, they did,
They're
yeah.
more physical,
sure.
dominated points in the paint.
But they knew they were going to be physical. That didn't catch the Pistons by surprise.
No,
they just
you know what
couldn't
surprised
match it.
them? They played a team who actually had all their players.
Well,
I know that's
true.
a surprise with that
and
trumped
they
up
started playing
record.
defense after that Charlotte
See,
game, too.
that's why it's alarming, is because this isn't just some up-and-coming, out-of-nowhere 8 seed.
No.
This was a team that was going to be a 3 or a 4 seed
And Wagner
before
missed
the season.
50 games,
Right.
and Suggs, and the injuries were unbelievable
Yes,
for
and
that
that's
team.
why, I mean, I'm going to ring the alarm bell, and I might even do a...
No. There's no panic.
Oh, I think it's warranted.
No. Of course, you know what? Of course you do.
By the way, just curious.
Same guy, it could rain outside, and he'd say there's a tsunami.
Did they? Can I just ask a quick question? When they built the LCA, do you have to spend extra just so you can guarantee some playoff wins? It's been over 10 years before a single team has won a playoff
They've lost
game.
11 straight home playoff games, the
Hey,
Pistons.
Wings are going to get that done tonight.
Yeah, hello. Every other
This
night.
guy's favorite bit right here.
Yeah, at Top Golf.
Oh, come on. They're
Rock,
in
paper,
Cabo by
scissors.
now.
Yeah, we'll hit the Pistons and a little
All right.
torque bombs.
We'll talk to everybody tomorrow.
Oh, yeah.
97.1.
Waiting for the torque bombs.